Hey, ooh, everybody, and welcome to a lot of sexy NORTHAG stuff coming our way here today. As we have, there's so much content here to go through, including this lovely little Polish helicopter. And it seems like Poland is the one that you guys want to see the most. And we have 3 divisions of the Polish, 10 new divisions, 4 new operations that are all better than the base game operations, in my eyes. Those are really good. We have 2 new army generals, which are new army generals. I don't think they're a massive improvement, but they're nice army generals to go around with if you like them. Especially in multiplayer, I think they will be good. And a lot of new maps, and a lot of balance changes coming around as well. And my video capture device did stop working. Let's see if we can get it working again. We can. So there we go. There we go. And yep, we start with the Polish. We go in. Yeah, the balance changes. Stress on miss is here, guys. Stress on miss is here. Gonna have a look on that later as well. Freaking stress on miss finally has made it. And we're gonna start with the Polish, as you guys voted for it. And we're gonna go in with the first of the Polish division, the mechanized one. And yeah, a lot of YouTube videos coming around as well, where I go over it in detail. When you want to have it in bite-sized packages, you can watch it at the YouTube channel as well. 5 divisions going up today, 5 division videos going up tomorrow, then one about the balance patch, then one about the single-player content. So 12 YouTube videos. It's half a new game, basically. Like, it's basically half the game content of the base game added on top, maybe even a bit more, with the 4 operations and 10 divisions. So yeah, here we go with the 4th Mechanized, starting with nice little Polish trucks, Me Too's, the MP1s, and we also get some little truckies here. We get some Scots going around as well, with a nice turret. Release is next week. If everything is fine with this version, most likely before Thursday, most likely Tuesday. We don't quite see when it goes around. Yeah, gonna put myself in this corner here. Yeah, Scots. We have 2,000 supplies down here. Gaz here coming around with yeah, 25 points, 600 supply. This guy coming around as well. So yeah, the Scot is a nice little transport vehicle. It has more capacity than the BTRs, so that is nice. We will see a lot of those in this deck. 7mm MGs are a bit more viable. They now have 4 hit points. The AGLs as well, so that might make them worthwhile bringing now. We'll see. The extra hit point there playing a big role. Then we have a Polish anti-tank unit here, which has a Scot 2A, the Scot 2AM. It's got 2A here, coming with 8 hit points, 2 frontal armor, 14.5mm and a 7mm gun. The squadron itself, 7 hit points here, but we have bigger squadrons here. The really cool one is the Scot 2AM, as that has 2 Malyutka missiles here on the side of the turret, coming along and firing at the enemy. So that is pretty cool. For 10 points extra, you get some ATGMs, and then we have Malyutka BMP-1s for 25 points for the Polish, which is seemingly really cheap. I feel they might go up to 30. That's where the German one with the Malyutka is, right? The normal one without any is at 25. We'll see. Yeah, Polish get the... So this one... Ah, no, this one doesn't have smoke. That, I think, is the thing. The East German one, I'm not quite sure if the East German one has smoke. They might stay at 25 points. Yeah, doesn't have smoke. We got the Pichota mech here. We got the leaders with smoke and the really terrible Komars RPGs here on the back of this guy. 12 penetration. All 500 ranged weapons currently show at as 501. That's across the board. That should be fixed soon as well. We'll see about that. And yeah, all the other ranges are fine. Somebody, I feel like, made a mistake there in the data input. But we will get that changed. Then we got the Piotr mech here, coming around with SVDs and PKMs. And BMP-1s as well. And then we got the Saperji with Scott 2s. These are, compared to Scott A's, they don't have the turret, they just have a frontal arc. And they don't have an extra MG, but they cost 5 points less. So pretty decent as well. The Saperji get them. And this one here has satchel charges and an RPG. So that is nice, but it's still the terrible RPG. That is not so great, and a medium machine gun on Saperji is not that great either, because that's not good for shock. And then we have the Sturmovi with the Rice here, coming along with 501 meter range currently. Yeah, Scott 2A, that most likely gonna be fixed too. SPG 9 here with Scott 2 AMs. Like all the AT weapons in this deck get this nice little APC with missiles, basically Hacked's version of the Fuchs Milans, with a better gun, or the VAB Milan rather, because they don't have smoke as well, but 2 frontal armor, so really solid little unit. The BMP-1s can be brought for these guys as well. The Polish military police, the WSW, coming around with RPK, coming around with 9 hit points, but the weapons are not that great. They don't have any AT, so I don't quite know how good they are. And then we have the Piechota here, which are the standard infantry here. They come off the Scott 2A. Smoke Grenade and Komar here for these guys. So that's a decent leader. No Piechota here with the Scott 2A with RPG 7 VM. That is a mid quality launcher here. 14 pen, 675 meter. And then an SVD version with a lot of firepower. And yeah, here the Scott's ability to carry a lot of men is great, because you get a 10-man squad and an APC, and a fast APC. That is really nice. And they come with a lot of firepower, SVD plus 2 PKMs on a 10-man squad. Like, this is a beefy little unit. And then you also get the Commandosi in here, that can come in the Soko, with Mi-ATs and Mi-AT rockets. The Soko has your little transport helicopter here. The Commandosi themselves, not the best special forces, only 6 hit points here, but they have a smoke grenade, and 55 points for them is fine. They have a RPG, they have a smoke grenade, and they deal decent damage here. And yeah, the rack is not good. The rack is just like a Uzi or so, not really that great. Yeah, it is that. It has that little mark there on the L. It's all big letters, so it's a big L with the little symbol for the Soko. And yeah, Commandosi here coming around with the PKMs. And then the Fagot teams, the Polish only get Fagot teams, they don't get the big teams, so they don't get any Conquerors, because Poland didn't really have any at the time, because they didn't plan for them. So you only get those, but you can get them in the Scott with the missiles. Artillery tab in this deck, not that great. You get rocket launchers, both Grad and basically Poland's variant of the RM-70, of the WZ-70-85. Yeah, I'm the 70 RM WZ-70-85. Nice little truck here. And then you get World War II vintage M60s and ML20s, M30s and ML20s. So yeah, good old reliable howitzers and a mortar that can come in a Scott as well. Tank tab is hot for one reason, or 2 reasons, and those are the reasons. You get Conquerors here, the only variant that brings some Conquerors here, the only Polish deck that gets the BRDM with Conquerors. The others only get them with the Malutka P. And then you get T-55As and the T-55ASs, and they are hot. Yeah. they are pretty hot, because you can fire with the main gun, but you also can use these here as infantry support. So you can really clean up houses with these guys, kind of helping you out dealing with infantries in front of you, and giving good fire support with your tanks. The availability obviously makes them pretty low, so you don't want to spam 3 cards of these, but 1 card mixed in, and then always having one of these guys around with your tank blob, that can be quite nice. The Merida still has the issue that the Polish never installed the fire mechanism for the gun-launched ATGMs on their T-55s, so no gun-launched ATGMs for this deck, so you only get the 14 pen, and you only get the 2275 meter range. It's still a pretty decent tank, and you get 2 cards of these guys with 9 availability, so that is pretty good, but you struggle a bit with the high-end AP. In all Polish decks, and this deck here, quite a bit. Then we come to the Recon tab, where we get 3 different forms of your classic kind of Recon. You get your 4-man squad that has a PM63, but outside of that, just a normal one with a 675 meter launcher. You get your normal engineer kind of one. They have a really cool looking little MTLB variant here, with that little turret on top that has a class window here, and a 50 cal on top. So yeah, the Tri-Horse is a nice little transport. That is pretty cool. And yeah, here you have the OT-65 as your kind of sad looking little vehicle. And then you get BMP for your mechanized recon 7-man squad with an RPG. The BRDM-1, this variant here, really good. For 35 points, you get a 50 cal and exceptional optics. And if you compare them to the BRDM-2 here, the PSNR one is just the better unit, because both get a heavy MG. The KPVT is a bit better, but not by much. But for 5 points cheaper, you get similar same speed, same armor, and you get better optics. So yeah, the availability on the BRDM is better and so on, but currently, yeah, I feel like you'd take the BRDM-1. And then you get the first couple of Me Too's here. The RO with a big gun, the US with 4 7mm here on the side, and then you get another Special Force unit, which might be the worst Special Force unit in the game so far. The Specjalny recon unit here. They have the Honker RRS with a 50 cal on top as well. That also has Special Forces trait, and they have at least the redeeming factor about them is the RPG, but with 1 PM, 1 PKM, and 2 AKs, the Special Forces damage buffs don't really help you. So yeah, they're going around, and yeah, that is the logo of the time. You can see the Russians can't even be innovative when they come in with their insignias. Exactly. This is standing for recon, and that's the markings of the time. This is the times real insignia. AA wise, you get your Strelas in a new Scott. This one has an AA turret, but the 14mm can only be so good as AA in the 80s. So yeah, it only has 2,100 meter range against helicopters, 1,775 meter range against aircraft. So yes, it can technically shoot at aircraft, but with its 2-second aim time, I'm not quite sure how good that is. AA aim time has been reduced across the board to 2 seconds for non-radar guided ones, and 1.5 seconds for radar guided ones. So yeah, AA guns have been buffed, and then stress on miss is a thing, guys, and that made the OSA a good bit better. So yeah, AA changes are big, really big, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they perform in the airplay. Yeah, and we also get this lovely thing here now for the Polish. There seems to be a price change, because the forward deployable one is 40 points and the non-forward deployable one is 45 points. I think that's just a mishap on Eugen's data input side, and that hopefully gets fixed before launch or shortly after. They should be 40 points here So for 10 points more, you get 2 strap-on Strelas on your AA piece here, making them a good bit better, especially on the truck. Like the truck-mounted variant here is pretty hot, and a good bit better than the truck without them. You get a big 57mm gun here as well, and then Strela 1s and OSAs coming around as well. So yeah, a lot of things going around. Helicopter tab. We have Me Too Yearns. We have Me Too Europe Salamandra with Malutka missiles. So cute little weaponized Polish helicopters here. And the biggest upgrade of them here, the Knievoj with Malutkas and Strelas and a 23mm gun. Not quite sure if the prices are correct. I feel like they should all be... They all pay a lot extra for the 23mm, which in the current state for 4-point hit helicopter is not that great. So I feel like they're all like 5 to 10 points too expensive still. But we will see about that. The rocket one is actually pretty fine. It's the same that you get for the East Germans as well. But yeah, the Malutka is not that great of an ATGM, and the gun in combination is not really adding much. The Strela plus Malutka mix is quite nice, but then you only go down to 3 availability. So yeah, we will see about that. The prices, currently on the safe side, could be pushed forward in the future. In general, a lot of the DLC units are currently more on the safe side of things. And I'm fine with that. I don't want to have another 76 going around, and I don't believe any of the divisions should be that. A couple of them might be somewhat underpowered, but yeah, we will have an eye on that. If need be, Eugen, Strike Team, and co. We're gonna get at work with community feedback and try to fix that. So yeah, better than having another 76 or so going around. Me 24D coming around here with Phalangas and 2 availabilities, so more Hindy Hinds coming around for Pact, this time with the lovely... I really like the Polish insignia here on the helicopters. Don't know. It's simple, yet real nice, with the 2 squares inside of each other. Yeah. Like that. You have a Coral variant as well. That's a good one. Planes for the Polish here. Yeah, they're okay. You get MiG-23s. You get R3Rs with the Polish, which are pretty bad. This MiG-21 is pretty bad. The R13M is also not great. At least it does decent damage, but it has pretty bad accuracy. And the R3R is just a really bad radar missile. So this thing should go up to at least 3, maybe even 4 availability. Or 3 availability and like 5 points cheaper, 10 points cheaper. Because the R3R is just a pretty bad missile. SU-22s here, coming around. We know most of those loads out already, I believe. I think that's the same as the East German for the most part. The AT-1 is for sure, and I think the cluster and the HER as well. 4 500 kilograms and 4 250 kilogram clusters. Solid strike aircraft. The SU-22 is a fantastic striker. And yeah, so those go around. Yeah, solid stuff. And let's move on to the next nation, the unit of that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I try to keep an eye on the chat. A lot of things going around. So yeah, let's go on to a NATO division now. And I think Belgium had the most votes there, so let's go in for the Belgians. And let's start in the logistics tab, where we have a lot of stuff going on here with MAN, with Volvos, with Sultans. First AFV here. The Volvo is a good looking truck as well. Chunky 3000 supply points truck. The AA buffs are AA guns, like the real guns, going down 0.5 seconds in aim time again. So radar guided to 1.5 and non-radar guided to 2 seconds. And more importantly, there is now stress on miss for missiles. So if a missile misses a plane, they still apply stress to it. A change that has been asked for the last 2 years. And that was functional in a couple of mods already, but Eugen had massive issues when they tried to implement it back in the day. So they had to go on tinker about it, because that was a multiplayer patch, but AI has to work with it as well, obviously, and so on. And there were some issues there, so... But now they finally got us a version that works really well. We will have a look on it. It has a nice indicator and all, and I think it's on a nice spot with the stress as well. And so when an AA missile misses your plane, it still applies stress, and it can force your plane to evacuate with stresses. And that means that AA is not as random anymore, because if you have enough AA, you at least will force the enemy plane back. You might not kill it, but you will force it back. And also works better with the lower higher time to kill thing and lower deadliness approach that Eugen wanted to put into the game, because that way, yeah, AA might not kill your plane, but it at least evacuates it out and you don't get through. So yeah, it's a great change. And yep, let's continue with the Belgians. We will have a look on all of that as well. Like, yeah, we will be here for a good couple of hours, guys. Like this, there's so much to go through. Yeah, the Belgians here coming around with 50 cults. I made a YouTube short that you can watch right now, I believe, on the channel, on the YouTube channel, where I showcased it. I felt like the YouTube short would be the best way of putting that out as fast as possible. Yeah, 6 videos going up on YouTube right now, around 5 about divisions and that short, and then more videos over the next 2 days with the other 5 divisions, and then 1 for single player and 1 for the patch and the new maps. Belgians here, 50 cal, 7mm now with 4 hit points. 50 cal can come in an AFV with a 50 cal. M113A1 with a 50 cal. Reservists with M113 here. They have the Blindeside RL83. It's a decent weapon. It's a decent squad here. 9-man squad. Reservist with a decent AT weapon. Like, that is a 35-point squad. The military police is unfortunately not that great, so the combination of those two is not amazing. Pioneer is with the RL. Come in M113s as well, or really, really old vintage AMX13 mod 56, and I believe 56 stands for 1956, as yeah, this is kind of World War II looking here in its form here, the AMX13 mod 56 with a single 7mm on top, but it has 3 frontal armor, so it's actually decently survivable. That's why it's the same price as the M113. So, yeah. The 50... I still am on the side of the 50 cal, to be honest. The 3 frontal armor. Not sure if that's really something you want. But, yeah, it's good for 20 points to get a 3 frontal armor unit. Pioneers with satchel charges and a MAC and FNCs. And then you get the normal Pioneers here with the flamethrower and a lot of Uzis. Similar to the German flamethrower infantry in performance. And, yeah, with the same transports. 50 cals... Those are the Luxembourgians here with a 50 cal, and the Luxembourgians come with Humvees, that they are mostly American equipped, American uniforms, I believe, for the most part as well. So, and yeah, they are forward deployed. The explanation about that in the dev block about the division, that they're supposed to be like a really light company running around. 50 cal, the first of these units, and here is the standard mechanized infantry of the division, Mech Fusiliers. The Belgians suffer under acute AP problems with the law A1 here. Only 11 damage on this, as that's the terrible early laws, so they will struggle a bit with that. Outside of that, 3 machine guns here, 2 light machine guns, 1 medium machine gun. That is pretty strong for a 7-man squad. Like, the firepower here for 40 point is good on the Fusiliers. And then they get their IFV here, the AFVB with a 25mm Ehrlichen gun. And the Ehrlichen gun is really strong. That's why currently, like, if these divisions need a buff, we can argue for going for 45 points for this. But the Ehrlichen gun is really, really good. And that's why it's currently starting at 50 points. So, yeah, it's the best autocannon by a good bit. Like, it's the same as basically the Bradleys. So, yeah, a really solid little IFV here coming around. And the Mech Fusiliers having one less MG, but having a better AT weapon here with the RL-83. They can come in the normal 50 cal variant of this. Make it 15 points. Yeah, it's going 60 kmh, mediocre optics. It's going pretty fast. So yeah, it's a pretty solid Belgian unit here. And then we have Milan 1s that can come with an MR13 with a Milan, and Milan 2s that can come with an AV with a Milan, which is the better vehicle. This one doesn't have smoke. This one has frontal armor and smoke. It costs you 10 points extra, but I think the 10 points extra are worth it for the smoke and the 50 cal. No, I think the 50 cal is here as well, yeah. But this is a nice little vehicle as well. Yeah, this is... So the Milan 2s here, getting you a little IV vehicle as well. And then the Luxembourgians with their real force arriving here. Their Fusiliers. Those are good. The 55-point forward deploy unit with 8 men, 2 MGs. That's already a fine unit. Beats all the recon infantry out there, basically. Or like 99% of the infantry units out there. And has a law. Get me those guys. Like, they get the early area for you for a really cheap price. Like, they are some of the cheapest forward deploy infantry that we got, whilst being a nice 8 hit point unit. And like, this is a really nice little unit, giving this division a pretty big buff, because they have forward deploy for cheap, for a fast striking important mech unit. So yeah, I think this is a fantastic little unit, helping out the division quite a bit. Their leaders bring a Carl Gustav, so that's forward deployable as well. So if you need a bit more AP on the front line, you can mix them up, capturing the front line points as well. Smoke grenade here too, so that is a good leader as well. The Uzis helping decently as well. So Luxembourg plus Belgian is a nice combo here. Artillery tab is pretty mediocre. You get your 2 favors of mortar. The Luxembourgians bringing forward deploy mortar and light howitzers. The Luxembourg artillery with bringing up 105mm guns here. Pretty decent. M109s as well, so yeah, not a great artillery tab. A workable, a functional artillery tab though. You get some self-propelled howitzers, you get a decent gun here. Like, this is the best of the light howitzers, as it at least has 70 kilometers range and only costs you 65 points. And you get mortars, so that is fine, it's not great. Tank tab is an interesting one. Starts with Milan 2s here. Then we go to a Jagdpanzer 90, and this one is interesting because it got an upgraded fire control system. The Belgians did put a better fire control system into them, which the Germans never did. And that means it has 2,100 meter range. We had a bug, or like a mishap by Eugen lately, where they put the same stats on the West German one, which is also cheaper, but with that stat combo it was really strong in my eyes. Being a bit more costly here, the Belgian one, we'll see how good it is with this. The question is, can you afford the tank slot here? As the tank slots are pretty costly quite quickly. I feel like you kind of can't, but outside of that, I think this is a pretty solid unit. 2,100 meter range. Mediocre stealth, so it can hide a bit compared to your normal tank, and a decent gun here. And then you get the striker. Yeah, you might want to. They might want to switch one of these two point slots with one of these 3 cost slots. I think that's an easy way to buff the division if it needs a buff. We'll see about that. But if it ever needs a buff, you can just switch these 2 around, and then have this division be a bit cheaper in the tank tab. Striker coming around for the Belgians as well. Swing fires are decent. Luxembourgians with forward deploy tow. So yeah, the forward deploy element of this division is solid. Like, 85-point tow, that's better than second Panzer Grenadier for sure in my eyes, in the forward deploy stack. Because the Milan 2s that you get there are weaker in my eyes than a Humvee tow 2. And you then get the Leo 1BE and the Leo 1A5BE, which only different is here the gun and the penetration, the fire control system there. These guys here having better accuracy. These guys here having the 2,275 meter range as well, though. So they're paying 10 points different, though. And only 8 frontal armor for the Belgian Leos here. So that is a problem for them, and they don't get higher than this. So you have a lot of long-range tanks that are all pretty class canny. So this division plays a bit weird. Your vehicles are all really easy to kill, but they have a decent amount of firepower and are pretty cheap as well, so it's quite the spam div in that kind of form. A lot of mechanized wave running onto the enemy, and yeah, you get a lot of forces here. But yeah, Luxembourg really adds nice stuff to this division. Yeah, no cheaper layer ones. This one might be, like, this difference might be bigger than 10 points. If you want to buff this division, there's another 5 points. As I said, currently everything is kinda priced and availability is on the safer side for most stuff in these DLC divisions. If they need buffs, we will get over that in future patches. I think that's the better approach than the other way around. Then we have their ground surveillance radar vehicle here with an M113 with a nice little antenna on top. Good looking model. Nothing special outside of that. Yeah, Alouette doing a decent job as well. And then their Eclairs that we already know from 2nd Panzer Grenadier. They have the shitty law here as well. They have a 50 cal Iltis, which this vehicle just doesn't look ready for that MG. I'm sorry guys, but yeah, the Belgians are a bit mad for putting a 50 cal on an Iltis. Spartan with Mac and an Alouette. The Eclairs coming in here as their bigger squadron. They have the better AT with the RL-83, and this is a really competent forward deploy, not forward deploy, but recon, fighting recon squad. And though with the Luxembourgians you don't really need that here. They're pretty much the same in firepower, so not quite needed, but it gets you very good optics and so on. Like, it's still a really good recon unit. Just a question if you really need that with the Luxembourg units around. Then we have sniper ESRs. These have a good sniper rifle, special forces. This is a good sniper squadron. Also lovely looking. Those puzzle kind of camos here. A109 helicopter transport here. Belgians having the sexy Italian helicopter. I love the look of that helicopter. It's one of the best looking helicopters, and it's a really good transport helicopter as well. 270 kmh, getting you to the front line quickly. ESRs here, as their GS ground surveillance radar infantry. Have a sniper rifle and a mini-me, that is good. Have a terrible AT weapon, that is bad. Only the law A1s. So yeah, pretty standard. One can come in the A109 as well. With recon deploy plus helicopter, they can be on the front line quite quickly. Scorpions and Scimitars as well. Yeah, and they have nice stuff here too. And as I said, like, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. I see a lot of stuff going on there. Yeah, the Eclairs of the Luxembourgians better than these guys here. They get the better law. They get forward deployment, but they also cost 40 points for it. They can come in with a Humvee with a 50 cal though. So yeah, that is nice. And then we have the first NATO drone, the Ipeveer here. One of 2 NATO drones coming in with this patch. So recon drones gonna be more prolific with this DLC as well. Well, my uncle served in the 9th Panzer, so I am super biased here. So 9th Panzer is my favorite here. And yeah, that's why 9th Panzer. Gameplay wise, it's tough. 9th Panzer is pretty high there as well. Though I feel like the this division here is pretty nice there as well. Here we have some World War II vintage at its finest. Only that it doesn't have an armored half-track, but just a normal truck with a Maxon 4 quadruple 50 cal mount. Yeah, stats are what you expected out of it. Should maybe go down in price as well. Can come with forward deploy though. So that is... No, wait, does it? It says it up here. It doesn't say it up here, so it might not. We will see. We get Gepards, which we'll have to have a look. The Dutch ones I think are better than this, and I think this one is the same as the German one. Gepard B2. There is a difference between them. I'm not quite sure if if it's German, Belgian, Dutch, or if it's German and Belgian and then Dutch. One of them is better, and we will have a look comparing them in a second. I think it's just the Dutch one that has a bit more accuracy. But yeah, Gepards, 2 cards, that is good. Vulcans, currently not really that competitive. And Mistrals, but only 1 card of Mistrals. Yeah, if they ever need a buff in the AA tab, I feel like a second card of Mistral is the way to go, as that is a fantastic manpad. Only 1 card here though. Helicopters. We get more of these really sexy looking, with also some sensor pods up here, or sensor attachments here. A109s. With really good looking TOW-2 launchers. Like, this is just such a good looking helicopter. Landmacht here with, yeah, TOW-2s. Double launchers here on each side. Or quadruple launchers. 2 double launchers on top of each other. With 10 points more for 8 TOW-2s. But 3 versus 4 availability. Yeah, really good ATGM helicopters, like the best European ATGM helicopters, as they have a fantastic missile with the TOW-2, and they have fantastic speed and 6 hit points. So this is a really good tank hunting helicopter. But they pay the price for it as well. 95 and 85 is not cheap for that kind of helicopter. Planes for the Belgians, Mirages, rockets, napalms, clusters, AG. Pretty standard. You get a good couple of them already around. The rocket one not having AA missiles. These have AM9Ps here. 30% ECM is nice on the Mirages. We get a new Mirage with these guys though. And these guys carry AM9Ms. Plus 4 450 kilogram bombs. So in comparison, for 5 points more, you get the AM9Ms. And more kilograms here, so in comparison to the normal HE Mirage 5 PA, I would say you go for this guy. I believe these might be high altitude bombers, but even then, it's a really nice one. The bombs are pretty good as well. And then you get the F-16As, which we already know from 2nd Panzer Grenadier, with AM9Ps. And an F-16A cluster that has 2 cluster bombs and 6 HE bombs. But that means no air-to-air missiles, which is a bit of an issue for it, but it has good weapon loadout here, nonetheless, to really blow stuff up. Yeah, 3 cards of the F-16A with the AM9Ps. You don't really have the slots for filling out 3 though. I think you go with 2, this, and then either of these cluster planes. Yeah, this is a really good cluster on all targets. Exactly. Like, this is a multi-role plane that can cluster and hit other stuff as well. Yeah. Hey, anyway, we get NORTHAG. Belgians here. Pretty hot. This is a really hot Mirage 5 BA. Better than all the French ones as well. So, yeah. The AM9M on these are going hot. It's not really... With the stress on miss, I don't think it's a really air spam division. I mean, it doesn't have that many slots. It's also not really a tank division. It's more like a Panzer Grenadier division in its loadout and how it's set up. So, yeah. As you can see, the tank slots way more limited than the infantry slots. So it's closer to a Panzer Grenadier division here than a real Panzer division. So, yeah. Let's go over. And yeah, let's go to 9th. 9th Panzer Division here on the other side. Let's switch over here. And we get more British boys. We get more British airborne and a British 4th Armored Division with a lot of chieftains. We don't get any French boys, but we get French equipment with the Belgians. We get Dutch. French will come with NORTHAG. That's where they were all from. So we will get a good bit more Frenchies with the next big DLC. Where we also will get Canadians and Czechoslovaks and Spanish. So NORTHAG will be a really hot DLC as well. I'm really looking forward to the Spanish. Especially because I don't think any other Cold War game has the Spanish inside at the moment. I've never seen them at least. So really hyped for that. Canadians always a bit underrepresented, but they have regiments and so on already. But yeah, Spanish, not so much. So really hyped for those. Logistics tab, BM1, SPWs. Luxembourgians, also really cool here. I don't think any other game has those yet. So Luxembourgians here are pretty hot as well. Yeah, SPWs. A new, really big truck for the Germans here. The heaviest that they have, I believe, in the military. The T-815 with 3,000 supply. Infantry tab coming along. And we have 30mm and 7.6mm. Now with 4 hit points, they could be really worthwhile. Not in this infantry tab though, I think you want to go with other units instead. For example, the Mordschützenführer, which has SVD, RPG and smoke nowadays, so that is pretty solid. And it comes with 4 BMP-1 versions. It comes with the BMP-1. Yeah, the East German ones have smoke, so that's why the Polish one is 25 points, because it doesn't have smoke. Yeah, right, these have smoke. So the Polish ones will stay at 25, it's the right price point. I was slightly confused there for a second earlier, but the Polish don't have smoke, but 5 points cheaper than these with a Malyutka. BMP-1P with the Fagot, and then these guys here, the D variant, with the Conquerors. So Conquerors BMP-1s for the East Germans. That is really nice. And then you also get Mordschützen with RPG-27 and a BMP-2. So you get to choose between the 2 best IFVs that the East Germans get in the same division here. I feel like you mixed both of them, as you go for 7 availability here with these guys, and you pay 15 points more for the BMP-2 with the Mordschützen here. And the RPG-27 is not a full-on upgrade to the RPG-7VL because it has less range. It is 21 damage with tandem rounds, so it hits really hard. And the accuracy is good as well. It's just that 675 meter range is happening way more often than 500 meter range engagements, so yeah. But these get you BMP-2s, so yeah, hot IFV action here already. The Fagot is a lot weaker than the Conquerors, so 10 points price difference here makes sense as well. You get more range, more accuracy, and, or I believe, yes, more accuracy with range scaling, and you also get more range in general. The Fagot team can come in IVs as well. The Pioneers can come in SPWs, which is important because otherwise you would only have slow units. So that is pretty important as well. Artillery tab comes in with classic stuff, 122, 152mm, ARM 70s, and no, everybody gets that extra meter out at 500 meter range weapons at the moment. That's somehow bugged in all 500 meter ranges at the moment. Yeah, Adam, there are a couple of Conquerors there on vehicles, but not on infantry launchers. The infantry launchers for the Polish is all Fagots. Yeah, Napalm, ARM 70. With the, I believe that's already in the current version, right? That the radius of Napalm has been reduced. That was in the last patch, right? I'm not quite sure if it was in the Strike Team patch or in the live patch. That's why I'm currently a bit mixed up, but Napalm got nerfed lately, right? So, but this still is a strong Napalm launcher. So this is quite nice. And then we come to the T-72 Galore. The first of 2 T-72 Galore divisions. This one being the East German version. It gets Storms as well, which is nice. And then we get the T-72 MUV2, which has 1 extra frontal armor over the T-72M. And then we got the M1. 3 cards of these bad boys. So you get good shit in here. 5 availability on 1 vet, 4 on these guys. 60 and 155 points. So you can go with a lot on 1 vet here. That's 27 tanks already. And then we get this sexy boy here. The T-72S with 18 frontal armor and a severe missile. Still not 2,275 meter range. Still only a mediocre fire control system for the main gun. But the severe with 2,800 meter range, 60% accuracy, 21 damage, and I believe it's also pretty fast flying. And you get the era. So it's a really good tank, but it pays the price for it as well. 245 points is pretty pricey. You get 1 card of these. with 5 availability. And yeah, I think it has reflex speed, so the severe is pretty good. I believe it has the high speed there as well. So yeah, it's a chonky tonk. 18 frontal armor is the same as an M1A1, so it can take decent amount of damage. And yeah, with the severe, it is a long-range sniper there, and that's why the 245 points for the beginning I think are fine as well. If the division ever needs a buff, you can hit it down by 5 points or 10 points maybe, but it's around where it should be priced, I think, already. So yeah, a lot of high frontal armor T62s here. M1s, which you only get 1 card of in the 7th Panzer, you get 3 cards of here, and these ones are better than the other T62s, the T72s that you get in 7th Panzer as well, so you get a lot of high quality T72s here. Sturm is nice as well, so this is this East German's heavy boys. These are the T72s that you want. So, yeah. We will get to the Polish as well. You will get your sexy Polish T-72s as well. Don't you worry. And they only love the East Germans. They don't love the West Germans, Adam. So, yeah. Then we got into the Recon tab. We get Me Too, You Other, which has the 7mm, no Me Too. Mod Aufklärers only in BMP1, no BMP2 for these guys. As the East Germans didn't have that many running around, like, we nearly get all the ones that potentially could be there historically in here. I think they got 24, so you can get 18 out of the 24 that they got, or 20 or 24 they got. So you're gonna get 18 out of them in the Infantry tab, so none left for the Recon tab. SPWs, BRM, and the Mi-8 jammer helicopter here with 30% ECM. So that is pretty nice. Yeah, AA with Strela 10Ms, Cubes, Strela 2s, and Iglas. Pretty standard AA tab as well, no fast Strela 1s or so. So yeah, speed in comparison to 7th is an issue. You don't have Modschützen in SPWs, you don't have fast going AA and so on, so a couple of issues there arise compared to 7th Panzer. So I think 7th Panzer still has a spot in there with T-55s and so on as well. But this division for sure is heavier, and in that regard, if you want to just go for the T-72 stuff, this division here is the better one. Me-2 Urn and Me-24Ds and Peace with the Cocons coming around as well. Air tab, pretty mediocre. MiG-23s here in 2 variants. One with the R24 and one with the R23Rs. SU-22s with cluster, HE, rocket, and AT. So all the ones you need outside of the seat. And that is a pretty decent air tab as well. Gives you decent support. Not the best air tab ever, but it is okay. And what you can hope for in a tank division like that. So, yep. 9th Panzer going pretty strong. That brings us to the next NATO division, which should be the 4th division of the Dutch. As I think that was the 3rd most voted for. So lesser Messies. Yeah, Sturm S and so on will be nice. Yeah, they get an EVOR helicopter as well. So, yeah, 4th E division here with YPRs, 765, M577. Well, not much there. And then, yeah, we get some 1000 supply trucks here, YPR with supply, and a 4th supply point. Infantry here for the Dutch comes in with 50 cals and 7mm. You get the military police here with Uzis and a good looking little jeep. And then we got the sexy boys. We got the sexy boys here. The long haired game mobilized with 8 FILs and an L4A4. They can come up with 2 veterancy, which is the first reserve unit that can do that, because they actually were pretty good when it came to training results. They were just really not behaving on military standards. That's why they get the reservist traits here, because they absolutely deserve that as well. And they have the law. Well, yeah, having better hair than even the BGS girls. So, yeah, these guys are pretty sexy here. And they can come in an MR 13. 35 points for 9-man squad with a law is fine as well. Unfortunately, the military police unit is not that great, so the combination here is not amazing. But the guys still go pretty decently. The Panzer Infantry commander here, a pretty good one. Comes in with the dragon, comes in with a smoke grenade, and comes in with MGs. That's a nice unit for 50 points. We get the YPR 765, which is the same thing that we get for the Dutch, just under a different name. Same as the AVB there with the 25mm. So yeah, currently 50 points for 6. It's fast, it has an Ehrlichen, so I think 50 points might be worthwhile if the divisions ever need a buff. As I said before, 45 points could be an option. Currently on the safe side, because the autocannon is really good. They have smoke and all, so 50 points currently going for these guys with the Ehrlichen long range, high capacity autocannon. And yeah, YPRs here coming around in law for the Panzer Infantry with the Carl Gustav. 7-man squads here all. 5 points extra for Carl Gustav. And then you pay 55 points currently for the Dragon. This would make maybe sense if it's a Dragon 2. Even then it would be a bit high. Even then I would say only 5 points. With a Dragon 1, I feel like they should be 45 points as well. Paying 10 points extra over Carl Gustav for Dragon 1 is not worthwhile, so I don't recommend getting these guys at the moment. Not sure if they should get a Dragon 1 or so. Something is wrong here, but that happens. Will get fixed eventually. I'll just go with the other guys for now. Genier here, the engineers of theirs, MG and Pfalz and the Satchel Charge, only in an M113 though, and TOW 2s without any special transport. The Carl Gustav here on these leaders here, pretty solid as well. Artillery tab, M109s, M110s, pretty good guns. Yeah, get a good amount of slots as well. No rocket artillery or anything special here. 120mm mortar in a YPR with a 50 cal. Going pretty nice as well. And then, Mr. Woe Is Me will be happy. We got some cheap Leos again in the patch. They are just in the Dutch one. He won't be happy though, because it's only one card of them. 75 points is pretty cheap. I'm not sure. I feel like they're just the same as the Leo 1A1 A1s. There might be something different. I don't think so though. So there might be something wrong with the price. And the card is really good. Yeah, you can only get them up with one vet, but 9.6 availability is decent. You get a TOW 2 launcher on a YPR as well. That looks pretty dope. A bit out of place, but yeah, TOW 2 launcher here. And then you get 4 cards of Leo 2A4s. One that is the same as the Leo 2A4s that we know from 5th Panzer. And then Leo 2A4s that are in between, because they have the same gun as the other Leo 2A4s, but still the frontal armor of a Leo 2A3. So they only have 16 frontal armor, but the 21 penetration gun with the better accuracy. So also priced in the middle with 250 points, and availability here with 4 a bit better as well. But same on one vet. But that gives you still a good amount of Leo 2s here for the Dutch. With 3 CV cards, so yeah, you can get 14 of them on one vet if you want to go with that. So a nice little Leo 2 amount here. So yeah, coming around nicely. The Leo ones here. I mean, this one has only 1,925 meter range. Range is pretty important on glass cannon units. And the Belgian one also has effectively one more pen on that range as well. And yeah, Leo 2A4s here coming in nicely with the high speed as well. Quite nice little unit. And then Recon tab. We get a little exceptional optics little unit. BO-105, little helicopter. Per canners. as the little recon squad. Front armor of 16 is ridiculous. Why is that, El Crappa? That's the normal Leo 2 A3 stats, and these were pretty much... They didn't get the armor upgrade. Only the later ones got, so... The later batches, so it's on par with the others. Or you mean it's ridiculously high? Mechanized AT with the Carl stuff. Genia, the recon pioneers with UZs coming in nicely, with satchel charges hitting hard, and then they have special forces recon here with UZs and laws. So this is a pretty bad 4-man squadron for that as well, but it's a 50-point GSR unit. That is the more important part. Like, the special forces doesn't matter. The GSR plus a law for 50 points does matter, and you get 6 availability. So this is a really good recon unit, just not for the special forces part. The running a bit faster thing and getting a bit less stress might matter for that. You never want to fight with these guys. 4 UZs are no damage. No matter how many buffs you put on it, 0 times a million is still 0. So don't fight with these guys. Use them as GSR. At that point, they are really nice. It's not undervalued, El Crappa. It got price nerfed a good couple of times. Pretty much where it should be now. MR13, it has still terrible side armor and gets one-shot a lot when it gets hit from the side and so on. They are still pretty easy to kill if you ever get a flank on a Leo 2 and so on. And they are not good against infantry because they don't have a 50 cal. Yeah, then we have the MR13 Vivid Ehrlichen on top. That is a pretty good recon unit as well. Very good optics. Fantastic autocannon. Only one frontal armor, but at least it has smoke. So, yeah, this is a solid little autocannon vehicle. Going pretty nicely as well. And, yeah, it looks pretty nice as well. Yeah. Nice little units here. And then AA tab. These guys, yeah, they have 30% accuracy, so they have 5% more accuracy. Cost 5 points more, but I think 5% accuracy, performance-wise, is absolutely worthwhile the 5 points. So the Dutch have this slightly better upgraded Cheetah here, Gepard kind of AA guns, Stingers, and then the best Bofors in the game, which doesn't change much because it is still a Bofors, but it is the best Bofors because it has good range. It has 15% accuracy, which is 5% better than the West German ones, and I think the French one might even have only 5% accuracy. Or it has 10% but lower ranges. But yeah, it has 2,825 meter range against helicopter and 3,000 meter range against aircraft. So this Bofors is actually useful. It's just the issue that it is also with the best Gepard. And you always just take the Gepard. Especially with the current availability. So, yeah. Sad times for the Bofors, because in a good couple of other decks, it would actually be a unit you pick. But with the AA slots that you have here, and with the Gepard being as good as it is, you just take the Gepard. So, yeah, the Bofors is pretty nice. And then we come to the air tab, where we have F5s here, and they come around with AM9Ps. We have F5As that come with AG, with AM9Ps on the side. These are dive bombers, and a rocket variant as well. 3 availability here on the AA variant, but it only has 2 AM9Ps, so it's not a great AA fighter. But the 20mm, the spammability of it makes it quite nice. And they have AM9Ls with 2 times 2 for this Dutch fighter variant here for the F-16. We have an F-16 with 4 AM9Ls and 4 250 kilogram bombs, so this is a really multi-role fighter. It's the first bomb plane that has 4 AA missiles, I believe. So that is an interesting one. And then we have an F-16A with cluster bombs and also 4 AA missiles. So, yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. can you shoot a recon M113 trait? What do you mean? It has amphibious and it has smoke. And it has very good optics. Yeah, you get 5 cards of stingers if you want to go full on stingers. Meanwhile, the Belgians only get 1 card of Mistrals. It feels like somebody does not like the Belgians. Yeah. And so, yeah, that is nice. We will now switch back over to Pact, and we will go with Corpus Dejantowi here. We get a couple more Polish fans happy in the chat. This is the naval infantry and airborne forces of the Polish combined, which gets you a couple of cool mixes and units. We start with Dejant Supply and the little boats here that try to be really try to be cars. That's like a boat that really hard, like evolution hit them. They were like, if some little fish can do it, I can go to land as well. And they got a couple of wheels. Yeah, cute little thing, not gonna lie. Topaz, first of many Topaz to see. PTS here, it's the same thing but with chains and a lot more supply. Good looking as well. I love the safety measures here. Polish taking work safety seriously. And then we have the Mi-6 with the big little wings here. And 2,000 supplies in a helicopter as well. And then we have Dejants and BRDM 2s here with CVs that are decent as well. Infantry-wise, we get the Marine Infantry 7mm and the Airborne 7mm. The Marine Infantry, like other Marines as well, gets the Resolute trait for the Polish as well. So that is quite nice. 5 points different, obviously, for the forward deploy here. And then we get the Airborne Engineers, which come with the terrible RPG 76 Komar and come in this cute little amphibious truck. The Polish Dejant Saperi come in PKMs with Satchel Charges, come with the Guz 66A, and the LPO one of theirs. This is a weird unit with weird availability. It's a 3-man flame score. It's basically like a Steel Division 2 flame score squadron without the smoke. Like, I feel like this unit needs a smoke or something to make it work. In its current configuration, it doesn't work. And especially if we compare it to the unit right below it, because they have the same availability. And sure, they cost nearly a third of the price, but the other guy gets 9 hit points and 3 flame scores, and that just means that they're a good bit more survivable. And yeah, with the availability being the same, like, you can't spam the other one, the Dejant one here, really. And this gets 3 times the flamethrowers basically for the same card, as you get 3 flamethrowers with 1 squad, with 1 9-man squad. So this thing just burns away. Real Polish barbecue going on here. Then we come with the Beretti Saperzi here. That gets you PKMs, AKs, and satchel charges and RPGs. So that is pretty nice as well. Yeah. And that is a nice squad as well. Satchel charges plus a decent RPG. Topaz transports for these here as well. We have seen them in Rügener before. That is pretty standard. And then the Beretti leaders here with smoke and RPGs. Then we got the Tank Hunter Squadron of the Airbornes with RPG 7VL. Decent squad as well. 40 points for 4 deploy unit. Way better than the Panzerjägers of the East Germans, because these guys actually have range on theirs, not just 500 meter range. And we got the main Marine Infantry here with normal Topaz 2A. And then the Topaz 2AP, which has the same AA turret that we saw earlier on the Scots, on the Scot 2AP, on the Topaz, which means it can attack helicopters and aircraft if they ever dare to get in knife fighting distance. Like, this is basically melee attack here against helicopters and aircraft. but it can do a bit there. Kind of like the 50 cals in Steel Division, I guess. Yes, yeah, it's a turret that has a bit of anti-air optics in it, so it can be helpful there. And the infantry itself is quite solid. It costs you 80 points, but it gets you a 12-man squadron with Resolute and Shock, and 2 PKMs and an AK. So you get 9 per card as well, so you get a lot of manpower per card here, and that is really solid. So yeah, that is quite nice. The leader can come in the Topaz too as well. 8-man leader with a smoke and an RPG. The terrible Komar once more showing up here. And then we have SPG-9 for the Dejans and an ATGM for the forward deploy infantry as well. The mix of airborne and marine infantry here will be really interesting, because you don't pay the extra 5 points on these guys, but the question is how many do we want to have forward deployment on and so on. And yeah, that means you get that all around. Yeah, these guys coming in UWATS's. Then we get a UWATS with an SPG-9 on it. And then we get the military police here of the airborne with the Komar AT launcher. 55 points though, pretty pricey, and no reservists in here, so I don't think you're ever gonna take that, guys, even with security trade and shock. But you get them. And then we have the ATGMs of the Marines, and they come with the cutest looking Topaz ever, because this guy has 2 SPG-9s on it, when 1 SPG-9 is not enough. The double SPG-9 action here. This is basically the dual shotgun version of the Topaz. So yeah, gets more damage over there to transport the Fagot teams. Yeah, it's nice looking. And then we get the special forces here, which are Dejan Commandosi. Like the unlike the normal Commandosi, these are an 8-man squad instead of a 6-man squad, and that is a world of difference. Plus, they have 3 PKMs here, so this is actually a really good special forces unit. 5 points extra. They lose the smoke, but 2 extra guys and a PKM, so they are really capable fighters. The other Commandosis in the 4th are still decent. 6-man squad with a smoke, that's a good special force unit. These guys here are the real deal though, as 3 medium machine guns on a special forces unit. That is considerable firepower. So these guys will shred on the mid distance. This is a really nice one. The release will be next week. You didn't quite tell when, because they still want to make sure that this version here is launch ready. If it is launch ready, then most likely Tuesday. If it isn't, then most likely Thursday after 1 or 2 more small patch. Like the version should be nearly ready to launch or ready to launch. They will see if they need to work a bit, but it should be next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Most likely Tuesday if everything goes all right. Yeah, then we have a name that I struggled really hard to pronounce, and I'm still incapable of pronouncing in the YouTube video. The Spadochroniarce. Yeah, they come with a leader unit. They are part of the airborne forces here, and they have a smoke grenade RPG. And for the leader, then you have the normal guys, 9 hit point squad, forward deploy with SVD and RPK. This is a good squad as well. Then you got a version with the Medis that doesn't have the SVD, but that is a good squad as well. And then you have a triple PKM variant that has a shitty AT weapon though, but it's actually cheaper than this guy. So that is a really good anti-infantry unit as well. So all of these 3 cards, pretty capable as well. So the infantry tab here, quite nice. With the 12-point, really capable infantry, with the forward deploy units here, it's good special forces, and the triple flamer roast squad, and the Topaz with decent firepower on top. Yeah, this is a nice infantry tab, as you would expect out of a special forces kind of division, or special kind of division. Any air mobile infantry? I don't believe so. I think these guys are supposed to jump out of planes all along. Yeah, no. no, I don't think there's any helo-borne infantry in this deck. No. We have the helo-borne Commandosi are in the 4th. Okay. And then we have a decent artillery tab as well for this deck. We have normal mortars, 82 and 120mm mortars. And then we have some World War II kind of vintage rocket launchers as well here with the VP-8Z as towed rocket launchers. And you get 4 per card, so you can get set up a battery quite quickly of them. And then reposition. They fire 8 rockets, 140mm, so pretty capable rockets there as well. And 10 kilometers, not the most amazing range, but if you get them close enough, that's nice as well. So these guys are pretty solid, and the price is amazing for that. So I think they will be quite nice. We got Wagilex or Wagilok in the Polish servers here as well. We get the 2 SM1, S1Ms as well, the 122mm Grats, and we get finally more 203mm 2 S7s for packed as well here in this division. KDA currently, I believe, the only division that has those big guns, so good to see them here again. Yeah, we will have more British divisions in this here as well. We have British in the MNet, and we have British, especially in the 4th British Armored Division. BT-76s coming along here. After this DLC, I'm not sure we will see any British anytime soon, if ever again, though, because we now have 3 out of 4 British divisions of the North covered, and I believe their 3rd infantry division is not really interesting, so I don't think we will see those. We might see maybe a reservist formation or so eventually, similar to what was up for 2.1 vote, but not anytime soon. The tank tab here, BT-76s, unfortunately without the 50 cal that the Polish installed on some of the BT-76s, so that's a shame. We get the ASU 85 for it though, and that is a pretty solid tank. Has mediocre stealth, representing its tank hunter kind of style, and its low profile. Has a good gun, 16 pen is pretty solid, 6 frontal armor. Question is, can you afford it to fit this into your deck when you kind of need the T-55As? And maybe the T-55AS, but even that is hard to afford here with the mine clearing launchers that you can use to delete anything else as well. And yeah, no smoke on these guys. The rate of fire is nice. Yeah, but no smoke and 40 kmh is a problem. So yeah, that is an issue. A recon tab is getting you a sniper with an SVD. Don't take these guys. We get heli-borne for deploy. Eugen made a mistake here again. We will see if that will stay this way. But yeah, we get Soko coming around here, the first of them, for the 6-man squad with... I believe they will just get to recon deployment and then we'll keep the helicopter. But yeah, that is a decent little squad. The RPG is terrible though. Not really amazing. BRDM, then the 76 PT-76 Recon, and then a really cool unit, the V3 here with SIGINT. This is the first vehicle SIGINT that we get. If this plays nicely, and if people like this unit, Eugen will give us more of these. So please let Eugen know what you think of this unit. Hopefully you say you like it. I'm all on board for this unit. And yeah, it's a nice little unit that has a SIGINT on a vehicle, which I feel like is way more useful than having it on infantry, because you can actually maneuver around and actually like get the ping when you run into something and then move back and see like, oh yeah, there it is, most likely. So that is quite nice. And then you get the Dejant Specialny with GSR for the ground, 6-man, and a good RPG. So yeah, another unit that you... Special Force unit. With 6 PMs, they might be able to take some infantry fights on the CQC range. Still mostly there for the AT and the GSR, but that is fine. AA, you get the Strelas. You get the Strelas before deployment. The Strelas of the Marines can come with a Topaz with ZSU 23 with a Strela 2 on top, so with a yacht here. So that is pretty quite nice. So that is a quite hot unit. And yeah, you get them ground-based as well, and on the truck again. But yeah, getting the Strelas with the Topaz yacht is a quite nice combo here. You can get the Topaz with the AA turret as well. Helicopter rights, you get more of the Sokovs here. The price is pretty high, or the availability is one too low. Like, I feel like they either should be 3 availability or 90 points. You get one with a gun and rockets, and you get one with AR-2M missiles and some rockets and the gun. They are 6 hit points. They are pretty decently fast, but it's only 6 hit points still, and 100 points is quite pricey for that. I don't think you're ever gonna use the gun, so it's in the end still a rocket helicopter with not that many rockets either. So I feel like 3 availability is where they should go. Yeah, to make them really worthwhile, because currently you just kind of go with this, because the Mi-24s are pretty good. Yeah, the Sucker are okay. Maybe you go like this, or like this, but yeah, I feel like they need a bit more. I really love the looks of it. I like the loadout. I just don't quite like availability or price. One of them should change a bit more. Air tap gets you MiG-21 bis with R3Rs. The first MiG-21s with radar missiles, though it's a terrible radar missile. But you get 6 missiles on the MiG-21, so that is nice. You get 4 availability on it as well. That is fine. The Su-22s here, pretty good as well. You get rocket version with R60s, R60Ms. Big rockets or small rockets. You get napalm. And you get MiG-29s. One with R-27s and one with just R-73s. 6 R-73s here, or 4 R-73s and 2 R-27s. So that is good AA tab here. Like, you can go all-out fighter if you want to protect your guys on the ground, but you need to kind of get some of the SUs as well. So I feel like what you go for is maybe this in fighters, and then go around with some attack aircraft here, seat an AT and cluster around as well. So yeah, decent, like pretty good air tab for this deck as well. EM63, yeah. Any fire directors in this? I'm not sure. Don't think so. I'm not quite sure what the status is on that. So yeah, that's 2 out of 3 Polish divisions covered. Let's go over to NATO again. And let's talk about the 9th. I want to talk about the 9th, because the 9th is a lot of weird stuff as well. As we get M35s, we get CUCVs, we get UH-60 supply helicopters. Also, guys, if you never want to have ad breaks again, just subscribe to the channel. I saw a couple of you being pissy about the pissed about those. Twitch Prime, guys. Twitch Prime. I know you all have it. Yeah, and then we have Humvees coming around. Thanks for all the support yesterday, by the way, guys. It was amazing. I'm still really... Yeah, the tournament was great. I'm currently planning on maybe even make it a monthly thing. The 2v2 tournaments went way smoother than usual in the last couple of days. And yeah, 9th here is the US division with experimental stuff. And we're gonna go into the infantry tab here with a lot of hot stuff as well. 7mm, 50 cults, CUCV for these guys as well. Just your classic redneck Jeep, but and yeah, way cheaper than what the military complex tries to sell you. So yeah, good little vehicle. Military police with a military police Humvee. Military police M67 with a military police Humvee. Really helpful for the National Guard laws, National Guard rifles, and the National Guard tanks that you get in this deck. So that is nice. And then you get engineers with a 50 cal Humvee for your infantry. Engineer Flash with a 50 cal Humvee. And engineered dragons with a 50 cal Humvee. So that goes nicely already. Mark 19 here. Really, you can really go with the 50 cal gang. And then, yeah, National Guard comes with the M113s. And the light rifles, they can come in Black Hawks, or they can come in grenade launcher Humvee. So, yeah, 50 cal or 40mm grenade launcher for these guys as a choice. Light rifle leaders can come in around here as well. The light rifle with the Dragon 2 as well. So the light rifle here, in general, a really solid unit, and we have them in Berlin command. Sniper rifle plus 2 machine guns goes quite nicely. And yeah, the Humvees with the guns on top, pretty nice. We then have National Guard, TOW, ITOW, and a TOW 2A, the first ground-based variant of this, with the tandem trait coming around as well. Artillery tab here, interesting units as well. Mortars in different forms, that is not that special, neither is this. But we got a mine-clearing vehicle for the Americans here as well, performing the same as the ones on the T-55s for the Polish, or the one in Rügener. Then the 155mm here, and then guided ammunition with copperhead rounds for the 198mm howitzer here. Guided ammunition, 155mm copperhead rounds here for this gun. And then cluster and M109s for the National Guard. So the off-road speed of these guys is 60. So they are going slower than the Humvees. 75 for the Humvees. So yeah, they are a bit slower here off-road than the transport variant. And in the tank tab, we have the TOW 2 M113s that we, or M150s that we know from 35th already. Humvee TOWs. I've seen a good couple of those yet already, but then we also have the COCV with a really, really hot loadout as well. It does only go 50 kilometers off-road, but they have Hellfires. Hellfires on a Jeep. 2,800 meter range, 70% accuracy, good stealth. These things are gnarly. Fast flying ATGMs with 24 pen on 2,800 meter range with fantastic accuracy. This is the best ATGM vehicle in the game. It costs that as well. 110 points. Only 3 availability in the current state. Yeah, might be a way to buff the division by going up higher in the availability there. Currently, for safety reasons, because this can be gnarly on this one. Good stealth on this. Yeah, this thing goes hard. M60s in National Guard and normal variant, all with the A3 variant here coming around. But yeah, this is a hot little experimental unit, and I love it. It's a good little thing. And then we come to the best recon tab so far in the game. This recon tab hits so amazingly hard. And yeah, we start with National Guard Scouts that can come in a 50 cal Jeep. That is not special. We come with a Humvee that has good exceptional optics, 20 points. That is nice. We come with Scouts that can come in Humvees. That is nice. We come with a 30-point GSR unit. It's only a 2-man squad, but that's all you want out of a GSR unit. Like, you don't need anything else. You just need your 2-mans to sit there and get you the best recon that they frequently can get you. And that for 30 points is nice. They come in the first of a good couple of dune buggies, and they come with 120 km/h road speed and 100 kilometers off-road speed. So yeah, we are in a Steel Division 2 timeline here as well. We are back to 120 kilometers road speed, just like the French meme cars from Steel Division 2. What can go wrong? It will be all amazing. The buggy goes hard. So yeah, dune buggies coming around here. CV coming in on Humvees. And then we have forward deploy snipers with barrettes coming in here. 1,400 meter range, meter ground range on the barrette. It's a 50 cal sniper, so it can hit APCs and IFVs and deal damage to them and kill them, whilst being super stealthy, whilst being the fastest unit on the front line because it comes with 4 deploy and the fastest transport that you can get. And it has an extra sniper here with 1250 meter range. So it has more range than a normal sniper on its turret. Can come with full double sniper, like full-on double sniper, and even better than that, on 1250 meter range. So it deletes infantry like nothing else. And it can delete vehicles there as well. If you spot these guys, they die quite quickly. But currently this has a really strong unit as well. So this division has issues once anything actually gets a force against them, but it is a really hard striking force. These units, the sniper here, are frustrating to play against, but they are so fun to play with as well. So I like the base stats. We will see if we have to nerf them in some shape or form. I don't think the division is OP generally. It's a bit frustrating to play against. I don't think anything here is OP, but I love this recon tab. Yeah, we see Dune buggies here coming in with 50 cults. We see Dune buggies coming in with 40mm grenade launcher. And we see Dune buggies coming in with a TOW 2. So, yeah, this one goes really hard. We got scouts, we get a scout helicopter with a 20mm cannon. That is not great. This thing needs some buffs. And then we get Kiovas. And then we also get a recon drone. So, yeah. Very strong as well. And yeah, fast Dune buggies here with a TOW 2. That is quite nice. No smoke or so I still think it's balanced. But yeah, goes pretty hard. AA tab of the deck, not that great. National Guard stingers and normal stingers. A Vulcan can come in a Chinook. And a towed Chaparral kind of launcher. The T-Chap here. That can come in the Chinook as well. Yeah, goes pretty hard as well. US Marine Corps will come. It will come either with Scandinavia or Italy. Whatever comes first. And they will do a Marine Corps division, absolutely. It's just not the area where the Marines would operate yet. So we didn't get those yet. We will get Marines 100% in a future DLC. But that is late 2025, potentially 2026. Avengers coming around here as well. With, yeah, the Stingers here. And then we have normal Cobras here. Not that many slots. So that's pretty standard. And then the air tab. We have a lot of good F-16 options here. That, including a new cluster one with a lot of cluster. 8 cluster bombs under these guys, so everything that gets hit by this is for sure dead. And this thing here kills tanks pretty nicely as well. So the AT support with MLRS cluster and airplane cluster is given to help you out with the lack of tanks. So together next to all the ATGM vehicles there. Yeah, you can deal with that. FA-16 here with the Paved Claw, with the Maverick. AIM-9 piece only on the sides. But the Paved Claw is the interesting bit. It's the first plane with 4 weapon slots because it has 2 guns. And the Paved Claw is basically an A-10 gun on an F-16. It can't hit air, so it is not a stupid head-on monster and not a stupid helicopter delete machine, but it can delete ground units. Together with the Maverick, like this thing kills units on the ground. And then we got the F-16, F-15C Eagle coming along here as well, with a lot of AA missiles as well. So yeah, A-10 gun, yeah, an A-10 gun basically here on this guy. I think it's a bit weaker. Let's have a look actually. A-10 gun has better accuracy. Yeah, it has slightly better accuracy. So the F-16A is not quite as good with the Paved Claw, which is historically accurate. But yeah, it has the same damage, and Yeah, the rate of fire is also a bit slower, so it is not quite as good, but it's still pretty nice to kill off lighter vehicles. Yeah, but still, a big gun on the F-16 that also has good Mavericks is nice. Like, this is still a good vehicle killer. 30% ECM, exactly. And also it's a fast plane. Yeah, 9th is a really wild division for sure. That leads us back to Pact. And there we can go into the 25th Guards. No, not Guard. 25th Tank Division. BMP-2s, BMP-1s, E-9s, E-8s, Urals, and Cross. Nothing special here. Infantry tab. Commandantura. Insanely suffering when it comes to the slots. It's the same as War 19th, I believe. 50 cal, 30mm. Motostrel leader with good stuff. And a BMP-2 AG. And a BMP-1 Conquerors for the 25th as well. So they can choose between Conquerors and BMP-1s and BMP-2s for their Mortal Strike keys. And you might want to save those 10 points here. So that is quite nice as well. Not really. Not really. I mean, it doesn't have Spetsnaz or anything. It instead has actual good IFVs for the infantry. It's not a War 19 ripoff. It is quite different. No fast transport for your Saperis. So if you want to get a faster transport, you have to go for the Gus. Thanks for the follow there, Beach Bronson. Yeah, guys, if you haven't followed and you want to have some Warno in your life, and I know you all do, consider following. Consider leaving a like down there on YouTube as well. Thanks for all the support, guys. Conquerors coming in the UATs. Pulamachikis here coming in BMP-1s, including the Conquerors. Artillery has this bad boy, the Master S, which is just basically currently an all-around better Hyacinth. Has smoke, has better frontal armor and side armor, same speed, same performing gun, and a 50 cal. So, and direct fire rounds, currently for the same price, for the same availability. It's a really good gun. It might need 5 or 10 points extra. Currently, the Master S is just really amazing, because it can survive a bit of counter battery and so on. The smoke is nice as well. It's a really good howitzer. And like if a helicopter tries to ambush you and you see that, you can't smoke off and so on, that is nice. And then in the tank tab, we got the tank that a lot of people list as their favorite tank, so that will be their favorite division right here. Well, Eugene was also like, yeah, people love the T-64, this division does need nothing else in the tank tab. No Storms, no Malyutkas, no Concourse launchers, no anti-tank guns. It is T-64s, and it is only T-64s. And yeah, you get T-64 in different variants, starting with the OBR-83. That gives you a cheaper tank. It's pretty comparable to the T-72s. It has a high penetration gun with 10 rounds per minute. That is really good. 1,925 meter range is not so great. 16 mortal armor is pretty great. So this is a pretty solid start. And then you got T-64 B1 and B1V here with the good range on the gun. 19 penetration also gives you 1 extra pen over these guys here. 10 rounds per minute, all of the classic stuff. No ATGMs on these guys though. And then you get the B variant with the ATGMs that we already know from 6. But yeah, you get these guys here with better availability. So yeah, you can get a lot of T-62s if you want. If you go with 0 vet, you can go with 48 T-64s. T-64 galore coming in here. Yeah, so yeah, this is a pretty solid tank. And with smoke launchers and all, 150 points, this is a really solid tank. So yeah. It's not amazingly strong, but it is really solid. And then, yeah, Recon tab comes with more of them. As we get the first Recon tank for the Soviets. So now we all need to cheer for Recon T-80s, BV IZDs for 79th, guys. Join me in that mission. We need the IZD as a Recon tank. So to make 79th a bit more special as well. But yeah, we got the first recon tank here with a T-64B1 Razvedka. Which is a pretty solid one. It's a nice recon tank. You get Me-24Ks as well. Get recon drones. So we have 4 divisions of recon drones. 76, this one, the Belgians, and the 9th US Infantry. Mod Razvedka with BMP-2 transports and so on as well. And normal Razvedka with normal transports here. So that is all pretty standard. AA tab, pretty standard as well. Nothing fancy, but all you need, including coops. Helicopter tab, pretty solid as well. All the Me-24V variants, including a new one here with this rocket variant, which has 80mm rockets instead of the big 122mm rockets, which is nice when you bring them out. And they are a bit cheaper than the 120mm rocket ones. It is less efficient in supply cost though, as the 120mm rockets somehow are really efficient to resupply. So yeah, that you have to consider there. And then in the air tab, you get a lot of Su-25s, and then MiG-29s and Su-27s with 2 cards each, so you can really protect your T-64s from the sky if you want to, similar to 119th. And the Su-25 has a new rocket variant here, with an extra pod here, 4 weapon slots for these guys as well, with 122mm rockets there on the extra pod. So that is nice. It costs you 1 availability and 5 points though. The 5 points, that's absolutely fine. The 1 availability is the question if you want to pay that. But it gives you a good bit extra rocket firepower here. So that is nice for the Su-25. And yeah, it's a T-64 division. What else is there really? Like Master and T-64, it is a heavy boy division. It's not really fancy, but it is really, really solid. The tanks are not that cheap here. They are above 200 points. What? They are absolutely worth defending, Ayla. Yeah. This division is a solid one. So let's switch back over to NATO. Let's go with the 4th UK Armored Division. This one is kind of like a 70s style division, because it doesn't really have IFVs. It has a lot of APCs instead. We will see a lot of the FV432 here. And it's maybe currently a bit underpowered. Well, we will see. Could use a couple more buffs. A couple of buffs already proposed. Yeah, we'll see what Eugen does. How the division performs when it launches. In general, as I said, I'm pretty happy that we went with lower power level for most divisions here. And if they need buffs, we can go higher later on. I feel like that's always the better way for doing it at launch. I'm not sure if the Buratino... I don't think the Buratino got the thermobaric. And we can have a look there later. Yeah, Assault Pioneers with Carl Gustav coming around. Yeah, we have 7mm arm piece. We have gun groups that come in the Cheapman's IFV with FV432 with a Milan launcher on top. So that goes around here. We have a 432 with a double 7mm here. If you want to have a bit, really just a bit more firepower here. Assault Pioneer Carl Gustav coming around with another one of those. Double 7mm. Terriers with Bedfords. Thing is though, you get a decent amount of slots, and the infantry units themselves are not bad. And for 15 points, these things are not bad either. They have smoke and all. So the British are not really suffering. This is just a low to the ground division. Like people, it's not a fancy division. As I said, it's like more of an old school division, but I don't think it's bad. Like people give it more flag than it should get, I think, because it also fits in the playstyle between 1st UK and 2nd UK, and that it is a bit more tank heavy, but it's not the it's all challengers, and yeah, more chieftains and centurions here. But people love reservists stuff and so on in other nations, so I'm not sure why they are so pissed about getting it here. Yeah, we get rifles and mod rifles here with decent loadouts. The rifles here in the FV, the mod rifle, 1 extra hit point, but the weaker AT. So both for the same price point here, both solid squads, 9-man squad with double MG and a Carl Gustav. That's really good for 55 points. Take that every day of the week. Yeah, rifles here with the lower 80, really good units as well. So those two are pretty hot. And then we get the Milan 2. It can get the FV Milan or Spartan. The Milan 1 can only get the FV Milan. The Wombat gets an FV with a Wombat. So yeah, the FV 432 is really everywhere in this division. And I kind of like that. Like, yeah. That is a nice thing to get as well. And then we have artillery, where M107s come in. We have Abbots, we have 155mm. Nothing fancy here either, but that's totally functional artillery tab as well, with these guys and some mortars. And these guys being pretty decent as well. So that's fine as well. And then we have a tank tab, where we get Centurions with a big gun. And the big gun is pretty trash though. But it's a 55-point tank with smoke that has a 1925-meter range weapon with HE shells, high explosive shells, 11 pen on it, but it at least does damage to everything it hits. So yeah, that is a decent little unit. Yeah, 55 points, you get 8 per card. Not great, but it is really cheap and kind of your replacement IFV, basically, is what this is. 10 frontal armor is nice. But at least, and it at least does always 1 damage. It does often not do more than that, but it at least does 1 damage to everything it hits with the heat damage table. You have the AVREs. Those got buffed again from 6 to 4 seconds aim time. So those are absolutely worthwhile bringing again. Now that they just delete anything they hit. Like they have the buff of ignoring protection of cover. So this yeets, after 4 seconds, yeets any ATGM team that it sees. And that is pretty good. This one having extra hit points as well, thanks to all the reactive, the era bricks around, and extra side armor over the normal one costs you 10 points extra, I believe. But yeah, Centurion, AVRE here, a solid one, Swing Fire, and Striker. And then we get a new Chieftain, which is going into the Leo 1 area and T55 area when it comes to price and so on. And it has 12 frontal armor, which is really nice. 16 damage gun, that is the issue with 7 rounds per minute. But yeah, it's kind of NATO T55 here. The Chieftain Mark 6.2, like between T55 and T62 in quality. I wish we would get a second card of this, because for 100 points, this is a pretty efficient tank. I like this tank. And I wish we would get one more card of this, because that's how I would play this deck. Like 2 cards of these guys, and then a couple of the higher end Chieftain Mark 11s, maybe even with higher veterancy, because you get a good couple of those. And then just use those as the long range protection, with the better pen and the better range and accuracy and all. And just push with the cheaper ones. And then you can play it. Currently we only have 1 card of the Chieftain Mark 6. But yeah, with a second card here, that would be quite nice. Recon tab of the deck has the Scimitars and Foxes that you would expect. Spartan here with the exceptional optics. And then a nice recon unit here with the motorized scouts that get 8-man squad with double light machine gun and a Carl Gustav. So that is a nice one for 60 points as well. And a sniper. And then a Chancellor, exceptional optics, recon helicopter. That is pretty nice as well. So yeah, this is a solid division. Nothing really fancy going on, and I believe this division needs a buff or 2, but I don't think it's super far from what it needs. Yeah, Carl Gustav here, pretty solid. Javelin and Javelin LMLs here. Javelins can come in the Scud too. Rapier Darkfire with radar guided, 6 missiles already. 70% accuracy. That is a pretty decent radar-guided AA piece. Yep, get two cards here of these guys. The FSA and the tractor up here around as well, so that is fine too. Helicopters are your classic Lynxes coming around. Lynx and Lynx Alarm. And then we get in the air tab a couple of interesting planes as well. The Rocket Jaguar, not that special, but decent for helicopter hunting with the AIM-9Ls. Cluster, not that special, but pretty nice. Then we have a Yeet machine with the Jaguar GR1A with 6 500 kilogram bombs and 2 AIM-9Ls on the wings. Sexy looking, and a big Yeet machine. 2 availability. 2 cards of the pretty good Phantoms that we are used to already. And then we got Phantoms with a lot of payload here. 6 500 kilogram bombs, 2 Sky Flashes. The first, like we had the Dutch one with multi-role planes that have 4 short-range missiles. These are the first bombers with long-range missiles. This is a bomber with 2 Sky Flashes below. The cluster variant is the same thing. This carrying 8 bombs, 4 500 kilogram bombs and 4 cluster bombs. Which I feel like it's just a better payload here, costing the same price. Because infantry dies against 4 500 kilogram bombs anyways. This one makes sure that the vehicle is dead as well. Though I guess 6 kill the vehicle as well. So yeah, it's both good. And the Sky Flash is coming in really handy as well. So yeah. These are really good planes. And yep, you have planes that can help out with AA whilst keeping the enemy out of existence. With stress on miss and so on, obviously airplay will have to be checked out in general. But yeah, this is really strong. Darkfire, Tractor Pier, and so on coming along everywhere as well. And yep, we get Chieftains, Mark 9s, Chieftain Mark 11s here. This is a totally fine deck. So now, up to the next one. On we go. The next deck that we get. The last of the pack decks. 20th Panzer, for the Polish. And yeah, we get Gas 66 and the Star 1000 supply truck here. Good looking truck. Me 8. Classic. BMP1. Classic. VRDM. Classic. And then in the infantry tab, 7mm Polish leader with BMP2s. So this is the Polish BMP2 division. That's the heaviest Polish division that we will get with this. And most likely the heaviest Polish division that will be ever around. Smokes, BMP1s, and BMP2s. Polish BMP1s, 25 points with an ATGM but no smoke. Yeah, you get some normal Pichotas here that we saw in the 4th and in Rügner with BMP1s as well. And then we get the Pichota mech that are the ones with PKMs and SVDs, so really good fire support already. Really good anti-infantry. It also then comes with the BMP2. This is a nice one. And this gives you a couple of conquerors with the Polish. So that is nice as well. And yep, the BMP2 infantry here is helpful. Zaberzi come in more Scott A and Scots, so that is good as well. And the Zaberzi are the same ones as in 4th with AT and set charges here, and RPO rise in this one. So yeah, this is a really nice squadron. The Zaberzi leader with the bad RPG. The SPG9s can come in BMP1s. The military police showing up once more. Really mediocre unit. 9 hit points is nice and all, but 45 points is just too pricey. And there's no reservists around. Like, if there would be reservists around, this would be a totally fine squad. There are none, so this is not a great sword. And the Fagots can come in BMP1s. So the Fagot launcher here is pretty decent as well. But yeah, the Polish not getting Conqueror's launchers because they didn't get them in real life either. Artillery tab goes hard. It doesn't have much, but it has one unit that a lot of people have been waiting for. Currently the road speed is a bit wrong, I believe. It should be higher. But it is a fantastic gun on the Dana. It's an autoloader, 152mm, and that will most likely be faster than this, soon at least. And that is quite nice. And you get 3 cards of this. So you can go hot with this. You can go really, really hot with this. And that is quite nice. Yeah, it is a really good gun. That's why the Polish took it, got it from the Czechoslovaks. It's a Czechoslovak design. I believe they are still in service today because they are just a really good mobile howitzer. Yeah, the Dana has 5 rounds per minute. It is auto-loaded, I believe. Or it has something else that boosts the high fire rate. It is good fire rate for sure. Yeah, then we have the tank tab. And this is the Polish T-72 division with a special one showing up there right in the end here down there, guys. BRDMs with Malyutkas. No Conqueror's version for this, but we at least have them on the BMP2s here. T-55 Ace and ASs, more of the coffin launchers. This is a really nice tank. Then T-72Ms for 145 points. I believe the 7th Panzer ones are still 155 points, so might have to find maybe both will go to 150 points eventually, because I believe stats-wise these are identical. And then we have the M1 for 160 points. That is both really nice. You get 4 cards here already. And then we get the Wilk. And the Wilk has 2,275 meter range. And it has bricks. So if we compare it to the M1, it has same penetration on same range. It has better fire control, so it has better accuracy. Even better accuracy with range scaling. It has the extra range on top. And it has the bricks. So that's why it goes up so in price, because yeah, it's a good 2,275 meter range tank with a good gun there, 17 frontal armor, autoloader, good accuracy as well. So, yep, a really solid little tanky. And yeah, the resolute trait. Maybe that's the reason. Yeah, it's quite nice. So this one goes quite nicely. T-72s here. The Wilk. Actually not quite sure. What are these red things on these? Are those some sensors? Or are they like extra reactive armor stuff? Why would you paint them red? Yeah. The reactive armor is nice. Good looking thing as well. To show that they're communist? Okay. Thanks for the help, guys. Yeah, to make them go faster makes sense as well. No, Garen. Never. We have one more division to go. We will get you the Buccaneers. Don't you worry. So, laser, should they get something for that as well? Yeah, exactly, puppies. I expected something like that. Laser detection sensors. Should they get something like the French ones? Like, the French have Dazzler, but, I mean, this will help you evade enemies as well, right? So, giving these guys the 10% ECM trait, kind of for the Dazzler thing, as a laser warner. Like, yeah, something, like, yeah, that should be represented some way. I guess a couple of other tanks might have it as well already, or is this the first tank that historically had those? I mean, they're really present in this one. 1 vet. The Volk goes 5-3-2. I would recommend them taking on 1 vet. Because 1 vet is a lot better than 0 vet, and you can still get decent 3 out of them. So, yeah, 1 vet is where it would go both for the Volk and the T-72S in the East German division. Yeah. Yeah, this is the only T-72 with max range. Going pretty hard for them. It's still cheaper than the East German one, but that's because of the 1 less frontal armor. And the CV with the 2,800 meter is quite nice. Yeah, they are expensive, but I mean they are really good tanks. Like there is a reason why the max range capabilities with a really good frontal armor tank it immediately makes you a really powerful thing. So it makes sense that they are pricier. Is there a fire control unit? I don't believe there is any here. I don't think there is any. So I don't think that is around yet. I don't think it is. Like, if you compare it to the Challenger. With the Polish. It's 10 points cheaper. It has the same accuracy, same rate of fire with autoloader. And it goes 5 kmh faster, and it has an extra hit point. So the extra frontal armor is paid off there, and it has a 50 cal. And it's 10 points cheaper. And the Challenger is by now priced pretty correctly. So I don't think the Volk is too expensive. If we compare it to Chieftain Mark 11, we can do that as well. That's fine as well. Chieftain Mark 10, we have to get the Volk. We get 2 extra frontal armor. We go 15 kmh faster. We get a 50 cal. And we have an extra rate of fire. Plus autoloader, so under stress it stays at that rate of fire. So yeah, the 40 difference, 2 extra frontal armor, 1 extra hit point, 15 kmh, and extra frontal armor makes total sense. The Mark 10 is the same as the Mark 11. They're virtually identical. Edgar Walker. They're exactly the same. I think the difference between them was something with the radio or something in real life. So, yeah. The stats are the same. And the stats with 220 points are absolutely fair. Yeah, but we compared them to the Mark 10, which is the same as the Mark 11, so we basically compared it to the Mark 11 as well. Yeah, both are 180 points. But it's 40 points. It's way better. The Wilk is way better than the Mark 11. Because it's the same as the Mark 10. We can't show that to you again and say the same things. Ah, no. It goes 50 kmh faster. It has 2 frontal armor. It has an extra hit point. It has a 50 cal. It has more rate of fire. And it has an autoloader that keeps the rate of fire. That's 40 points. Like it's 10 points for the frontal armor. 5 points for the extra hit point. Or 10 points even for the extra hit point. That's 20. Yeah. 10 points for 10 points for each. 10 points for the extra speed. 10 points for the better gun. 40 points. And you could even argue that 2 frontal armor is more than 10 points. You could... Yeah, so... This is fairly priced. Like the jump in the better accuracy, better gun range, and the reactive armor makes it just a good bit better than the normal T-72. Like the T-72's issue with the range is a big issue. Like that they have to get closer to the enemy. So, yeah, Volk is at the right price point. If you want to buff the division, you might be able to get them 5 points cheaper, maybe 10 points cheaper, but that would be for the division. But yeah, let's get to the last division that we didn't have. Spoiler alert, Buccaneers. And that's MNET, the Multinational Airborne Division. As these guys come in with hot stuff. ATMPs, Cargo, Grakas, Unimogs, Sultans, CH-53s. Oh, right. Maybe. Okay, the Volk discussion was going too hot. Recon tab, Dry Horse. Svedocci. 4-man squad here. The same as in the 4th. Yeah, the Dry Horse, Sapersi, and the mod without BMP2s here as well. So the same as in 4th. The OT65 and the little MTLB with a 50 cal are quite nice. BRDM, Me Too's going nice. The specialty with RPG and GSR here are pretty nice. Special forces, but the GSR is the important part. And then you get a 4-man squad with an RPG 7VL here as well. This is the same one as well. You don't want to have them fight ever, but the RPG 7VL might make them worthwhile. The Honkers is nice as well. So special forces recon here, a bit weird. The same as in 4th. BRD, this one is quite nice as well. And yeah, AA coming around here. The Yacht coming up. Strela 10Ms and Coops, and the Strela 2s coming in as well. So yeah, Strelas, the Yacht. This one has currently the wrong price. It should switch with the 4 deploy one going 5 points down for this one, 5 points up for the airborne one, which is currently 40 points. So, but yeah, this is a nice one with the Strela 2s on top. The Shilka, Strela, and Coop. So decent area tab. Helicopter tab gets you one of the Me-2s with Malyutkas, and then 2 cards of decent Me-24Ds. And the air tab is pretty mediocre. A lot of MiG-21s here with a bomber and a rocket variant. And then MiG-21s, AA variants here. Yeah, 4 250 kilogram bombs on these guys. Yeah, MiG-21 BIS with R13Ms here and R60s. And then MiG-21 BIS here with R3Rs, which we saw earlier already in. So this is an interesting one with some radar-guided AA missiles that have a bit longer range than the fire and forget missiles, with stress on miss that might matter and so on. But the R3Rs are still a terrible radar missile. So yeah, that is okay. Then we have 2 decent Su-22s here, one with big rockets and some R60s down here, and one with R60s and big ATGMs that we already know as well. So yeah, nothing super special here in these tabs. Yeah, and yeah, the Vilk is priced correctly. So yeah, a decent T-72 division. And I don't think it needs to get any special treatment because the T-72s are already decent tanks, and the division can push through. I don't think the Vilks need to be fancily handled. They are nice addition already, and you get good BMP2 infantry, you get solid GSR scouts, you get solid helicopters with Me-24Ds, you get decent AA, decent air. The deck is fine. I don't think it needs extra candy on top. And then we get MNAT, and you get the Dana, exactly. 3 cards. Logistics tab in the MNAT. Pretty standard stuff. You get a couple of things double because of different nations, Belgians and British Sultans, German and Belgian Iltises. CH here coming around. ATMPs as the airborne little vehicle for the British, coming around in many forms here in this division. And then we have MGs in 3 different nations with 4 deploy, in 3 different transports, Iltis with Cabriolet and Rovers and ATMP. Always take the Rover, the ATMP is not great. The amphibious and airborne capabilities of it don't really matter. 50 cal with an ATMP or a Rover, and then the worst infantry unit in the game. The Dutch had to be represented a bit more, I guess, and they had to get some budget, so they got a Mariner Dragon 1 here. It's a Dragon 1 team. So it's the same Dragon 1. I believe it might have more accuracy. I'm not sure. I will have to check that in a second. Yeah, I think it has more accuracy because it has a tripod. Yeah, but it's still a 30-point, 1,400 meter range ATGM. So, yeah. And you don't get anything else extra here. It's still a 30-point unit. For 60 accuracy guy. So, it's still a terrible HGM guy. Like, don't take this card. I know the Dutch needed to be represented more, so they had to come in and they were like, guys, we need to join you. Come on, take something from us. And they were like, what do you got? You don't have anything to offer. And they were like, but we have this Dragon 1 here. Do you have any team that goes with it? No, we don't. Okay, then I guess we put this Dragon 1 in here. That's, I guess, the discussion there. So that's how we got the Resolute trait Dragon 1 with a bit extra accuracy. Won't matter because it will never shoot anything. You get 10 of those. So, yeah. Okay. Guess you can make Dragon 1 meme spams. Like, this is a really memey unit. I love that. Just, if you want to play competitive, don't take them. Yeah. Then we have the Belgians with their para commandos here. Shock traits here. No special forces in the infantry tab. It's all shock or resolute. And yeah, the commanders here with forward deployment. The parachutist coming around with double mini-me and 4 Uzis. This is weird. This is a weird weapon loadout. I'm not sure if it's good. I don't think it is. It might be for 40 points. I don't think it is though. For 35 points, it might be. Para Commando coming with a bad Belgian law and 1 mini-me. It's an okay squad for 50 points. It comes with a great little vehicle though. It has a 50 cal and a Milan on a truck. This is the weaponized civilian trucks that we want. This is the stuff we want. Like, this is cooler than the Humvees. Belgians just outclass the weaponized Humvees by a lot, because they put also a random Milan in there that you really don't want to be at when the guy in the 50 cal is there as well. Like, you really don't want to stand here if this guy is there as well with the 50 cal. I feel like this is not really a nice spot to be at. But yeah, you get both, which is nice. And then you get power commandos with an actually good AT weapon for the Belgians. I don't know why only this squad gets him, because the freaking BGS gets it. It's the Plindicide 100mm. It hits for 18 damage. It hits on a good range. It hits with decent accuracy. And yeah, these guys are good because of that. Like, this is a decent squad. 8-man, good AT weapon, and a mini-me. So that is a fine squad. And then we come to the Gorkas. Those get Resolute and Shock. So that's the thing there. They're not quite special forces, but the closest they can get, basically there. And for 100 points, they hit really hard. They have a low 80 and 3 support weapons for a 12-man squadron here. So the Gorka really hitting hard here. Yep, really nice little squadron. Can kind of in a Chinook. The double low 80 tank hunter squadron is nice as well. That is melting anything away, and that's for a cheap price point, so that's a nice card to have as well. And then you have Gurkha leaders, which with 60 points, a low and smoke grenade are a good leader squadron as well. The Gurkha Rover Wombat is just a Wombat with Resolute. Not really important, but shows that the Gurkhas are in control. It can come in Chinook if you really want to be weird. Yeah, then we have more Dutch representation. Because they left their dragon with these two guys over here, they now come without any AT weapon. But they can ask Germans to help them out, because Dutch don't get helicopters. We saw that in 4th. Yep, if you really want to badly fly on something, the Germans give you a UE, and then you can fly somewhere. And then your mariners can go there. They are a good anti-infantry squad. 45 points, Resolute, 3 MGs. That's fine. 10 hit points. Like, it's a good anti-infantry squad. It's not more than that. So, yeah, Dutch might be worthwhile bringing. Belgians bring a Milan with the neat, nice little truckie again here. So, that is a decent option as well. Coming with forward deploy. Yeah, the Wombat with veterancy here, that is interesting. Yeah, Vulture Pioneers. And coming in with 10-man, basic standard German pioneers, but with forward deploy and veterancy. Fallschirmjäger Führer with smoke, that is decent as well. We have seen them before. The power engineer leader coming around as well. Yeah, this thing for 15 points might work actually. Like if you can really spam them around. But they cost you still an infantry slot here, and that's currently the issue. Like, yeah, for 30 points, you're just not going to sacrifice a point slot here. Power engineers, pretty fine. They have one less man, but they have 2 LMGs, so same price point, same availability here. That's kind of a choice kind of thing. Power engineer leaders, not that great. Power gun group, solid gun group. Carl Gustav, 3 LMGs. Still 55 points, seem to be a bit high. And shock doesn't really help with a medium machine guns crew, so maybe a 50-point units. Yeah, if you compare them to the Mariners that also have 3 MGs and 10 hit points, they don't get the Carl Gustav, but they're also 10 points cheaper. So I feel like a Carl Gustav for 4 hit points, yeah, and then forward deployment, so yeah, 50 points I think is where they should go. Fallschirmjägers, sadly still at 70 points. Other German infantry units that were overpriced got buffed. Carl Gustav Pioneers went down to 55 points again. I'm excited to announce. Fallschirmjägers, still 70 points. They should go down to 65 points. 70 points. Nerf 2nd Panzer Grenadier. I'm absolutely up for nerfing 2nd Panzer Grenadier with slots or so. Don't nerf Fallschirmjägers just because they're OP and 2nd Panzer Grenadier. Compared to the Paras are 8 hit points, 70 points as well. The Law 80 in my eyes is better than the Panzerfaust because it has more range and they have an extra MG here. So, like, I think for 65 points and 60 points it would be question here. Currently you just take the Paras, as they also have more availabilities. So that really shows that the Fallschirmjägers currently are just not in the right spot where they should be. You just take the Paras instead. Our leader here coming around with decent law as well. Like, could even make them 60 points. Like, 65 points is where you could start thinking about them again. 60 points is where you would take them again, I guess. For 70 points, they're currently not viable in this deck, really, unfortunately. Our leader, yeah, law and smokes. We already know them from first UK. Milan 2 in rovers, and Milan 2 with forward deployment for the Germans. That one is good. So, that one is a nice one to take. Artillery tab has an 81mm mortar, and then it has an 81mm mortar with cluster. It only has 2 damage from the top armor. I still have to test this thing more. But it's a cluster 81mm mortar for 40 points. We will have to see how good that actually is. I actually have no idea. So, a cluster mortar. It also has guided ammunition. For whatever that means. So, yeah, cluster 81mm mortar here with Merlin rounds. 107 and 120mm mortars. A good 105mm artillery piece. And a bad 105mm artillery piece. For 5 points more. Yeah, always take this guy. And then we got a tank tab that has no tanks in it, but it has some nice little vehicles. It has the Scimitars and the Scorpions. And it has these sexy boys that you can bring in a CH if you really want to be sexy. Yeah, Weasels. 5 points too expensive in my eyes. They should be 35 points, just like the shit boxes with the autocannons in the... They go fast, that's the nice thing about them. But yeah, they should be 35 points, just like the autocannon vehicle in the Raden in Berlin Command. That is 40 points as well. So 35 points for these would be helpful. Tow 2, Weasel, going strong, going nice, fast off-road speed, and good optics. Can come in a helicopter if you want to as well. Kraka Tow with an I-Tow is solid too. And then all you get is Stinger, Striker, and this thing looks so bad as well. ATMP with Milan 2 on top. Nice. Thanks, Oscar. Yeah. 81mm mortar. Yeah, it was a guided AT weapon for 81mm mortars. Yeah, cluster, I think, yeah, makes the most sense to represent it. So yeah, Weasel going nice. And yeah, going 100 kilometers on road with this thing. Yeah, I wouldn't want to drive this thing at 100 kph. And then we have the Recon tab, where it has the Gazelles and the Hellarms with terrible ATGM missiles. We know them from the French already lately, but this is on a Recon helicopter. Interesting option. Not sure if you really ever want to take it, but interesting option. Decent snipers, scimitars and scorpions with recon for a bit more price. 10 more on the scimitar, 5 points more on the scorpion for the optics. And then we get Belgian Eclair Para in A109s with the Planicyte and 3 minimes. This is a recon infantry destroying infantry. That is nice for 60 points. And a normal 4-man recon squadron. And then we get dune buggies for the British as well. But for some reason, and yeah, I'm pushing hard currently in Strike Team, guys, to change that. Hopefully we will get there. These dune buggies go slower than the American dune buggies, when they should go the same speed. Yeah, you get the LSV with a 50 cal here, and you get a LSV with a Milan 2 on top. They should go 120 and 90 kmh as well. But yeah, those are nice little units. I mean, yeah, they don't quite look as sophisticated as the American ones. This is just like those classic metal sheets just welded together. Classic British design since World War II, or World War I basically, just putting metal boxes and calling it a car. It's the same like the Saxons and so on. Like, yeah, British designs. Can laugh about it for forever. But let's move on. Fallschirmjäger Aufklärers going pretty strong. Para Scouts, solid 8-man squad here with a law. And then we have the special forces in this formation, and they go hard. The Pathfinders, 4 deploy, special forces, 4 medium machine gun special forces. This is an infantry delete machine with special forces, 85 points, very good optics. So this goes nice. Yeah, the accuracy here is weird. We'll see about that. But yeah, the Pathfinders are really good special forces, recon infantry, helping out the deck. Yeah, it is the coolest looking of the division. It's one of the coolest looking divisions. It is for sure not the best of them. It is for sure not. There are a couple of areas where you can buff them, but yeah, they have some really cool mix of units. And I love multinational units. Berlin Command is one of my favorite divs, so this will be as well. Yeah, there are a couple of areas where they can get buffed. Another vehicle that you don't want to go 90 kmh on the road with, especially not if the gun is really mounted like this. And I'm also not sure if this is counting as a stable gun platform, is the Crocker 20mm. Like, you can't tell me this thing is not toppling over when it fires. Yeah, Crocker 20mm coming in here. You get javelins as well. And yeah, not German practicality over design kind of vehicle as well here. The Crocker. Vulcan. Solid here. Sponsored by the Belgians. And then the most important achievement of the Falkland Wars. The British actually got unknown technology. The British actually figured out that having AA guns might actually be useful. And we get the Skyguard. Thanks to the Argentine army taking care of the third world country that is the UK, giving them voluntarily, I would say, the Skyguard 35mm AA pieces here. And the British actually contribute something of value to an AA umbrella of this, as this is basically a stationary, basically a stationary Gepard, 2,825 meters, 3 kilometer range, 25% accuracy, 30% accuracy with veterancy. So yeah, a solid AA gun. Yeah, good stealth. So that is pretty helpful. And yeah, the best AA gun currently in the game. That is towed. And on par with the Gepard. So that is quite nice. The Sky Guard goes hard. And then we have perfect representations of what the British come up with when you let them alone and tell them they need to get an AA vehicle. You get the ATMP LML. When the Argentines and the rest of the world is not helping them, that's what you get when a British is working on an AA unit. Yeah. You get an ATMP with an LML on top. It is better than the normal LML because it actually is pretty mobile. 6 availability and all, so yeah, 65 points is pretty pricey. If it would be 60 points, I would be enticed to take them. Like, I don't think it's that bad, but it just looks so goofy. Yeah, and it does its job. Paramistrals might be the better option. Same price, not as mobile, not the same rate of fire, but the way better missile with better range. And then the British actually contributing something of decency here with the Darkfire on their own. Radar guided missile, decent range, decent accuracy, really good accuracy, range against helicopters actually. Though you won't really want to use this against helicopters. But the Darkfire is a pretty good one. We saw that in the 4th already. This is a pretty good AA missile system. AT helicopters, German and British combined. The Lynx is really solid. The BO-105s are as well. BO-105s hit a bit harder. These guys are faster and a bit more survivable. So whatever you need more, you take. Both have their pros and cons. So that is nice as well. And then in the air tab, we have Mirages 5BA from the Belgians in HE and rocket variant. The Dutch finally contribute a bit more. We have a cluster N5A, though only 2 bombs under this, so it doesn't really kill things, I think. Or it at least struggles with it. You know, so I'm not sure how good this thing actually is, but the Dutch were asked, can you contribute anything again? And they were like, we already gave you the Dragon 1, what are you on about? And I was like, so again, can you contribute anything? And they're like, okay, we can contribute a plane. We give you the worst of our N5Fs, but here you go, take it. And then we were like, okay, can you now actually contribute something? And then they gave them the F-16As, because this is a pretty good F-16A with 3 missiles under each wing, coming in with a double AML-7 kind of shotgun system here, and F4Fs. And then we get the Bucks, the Buccaneers, which are performance-wise currently still the same as they are in the Army General campaign. So you get an HE variant with a lot of bombs that doesn't have enough space for the ECM pod anymore, so 20 ECM only, but AM9Ls. The LGB one has the ECM pods and the guiding pods, so it has 30 ECM and paveways. Seed currently only having 30 ECM, that could still get a buff potentially. The missile range currently also on strike range. We will see if that stays the same. Currently a pretty bad seed plane, with only 30 ECM and a bad missile. And then the Buccaneer 81. The speed on the Buccaneer is all fine. And the 30 ECM on the LGB and 81, good for those kind of planes as well. Especially AT, 30% ECM on a 175 point plane. That is quite nice. This one not having air-to-air missiles though. So, yeah. Can we put Dragon 1s on planes? And yeah. Yeah, you get an LGB bomber here for the British with the Buccaneers. So, paveways coming in here with these guys. Bucks looking hot. Yeah, I think the HE one is good. I think the AT and the LGB one are decent as well. The seed one might need a buff, might get a buff. We will see about that. I'm not quite sure what is possible there. So yeah. That are the divisions. It took us only 2 hours. and a bit to go through all of them. Yeah, and then we have changes around, like, for example, yeah, the AA changes with the accuracy, the aim time on the guns, 1.5 seconds for radar, 2 seconds for non-radar guided. We have stress on miss, which we will check out in a second. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, we will ask to see if anybody wants to play with us in a second. The stress on miss is pretty nice. And then we also have 2 more Army General campaigns. We have 4 more operations, which are fantastic operations actually. Like these go really hard. We will have to check those out as well. 1 Dutch, Wing to Zars with the Polish, the Marauders and Survivors one, which I finished this. This one is the best one. I finished it, but it didn't get the... What? No! I will have to do it again, I guess. This one is really fun to play. We'll check that out later. Though we might not do this one on stream. We will do one of the others. Let's see if somebody is around. And then maps. We got a couple. Not loop though. We got Valley. Let's go by names because that's the easiest. Valley in 2 different forms. Conquest, Destruction, and 10v10. Valley could be a 1v1 map as well. Pretty easily. We got new loading screens as well. Valley is a really good looking map, and I don't even think you need to cut too much for a 1v1 version of it. You just have to put the spawns a bit closer to each other. And then I think it would be a pretty fine 1v1 map. Maybe cut the left side here. But yeah, Valley is a pretty nice one. With a nice little river here on the side that doesn't matter too much. No bridges going over there, unfortunately. But you can put your Weasel over here with a helicopter and then drive your Weasel all the way up here. Then your Weasel is over there. You might need to get the helicopter over there to get it over again, but you can drive your Weasel over there on the road. 7 Panzer changes. I don't think there are any big ones. I don't think there's anything of notice in 7th Panzer. 7th Panzer is pretty fine as it is, so I don't believe there has been anything. No. As I said, the T-55M maybe could go down 5 points in price. We will see about that, because currently it's the same price as the MUV, which has 1 frontal armor extra. So yeah, we'll see. Outside of that, it is, I think, the same. It's fine there. Ah, yeah, and then we have the resupply UI. Right. Right. The thing that the unknown technology is coming over from Red Dragon. You can now choose between spare parts, fuel, and ammunition, and turn them on and off as you want, so that your supply doesn't get wasted on fuel when you don't want to waste supply on fuel. So, yeah, it finally has arrived here, guys. Or if you really need to refuel that one little helicopter that is also a bit damaged and has shot 2 of its 8 rounds, then you can also do that. So, yeah, that one is pretty nice as well. Yeah, it works for FSPs as well. I'm pretty certain. Let's check. Let's make sure it works for FSPs as well. For that we have to switch over. We might as well have a look on another map. Let's have a look again. Which of the other maps is in factory? There we go. Nope. 79th has an FSP. Startled battle. Yeah, works for FSPs as well. So this is really nice to have. And yeah, goes quite nicely as well. Yeah, pretty solid there. So, those are two of the new. We didn't look at Factory at all now, though, did we? Factory is a pretty good looking map as well. Yeah, it's basically a Wolfsburg for Wave Factory, I believe. Yeah, it has a lot of factory spaces here. It is in one of the missions as well, where you defend around it. Big parking lots for all those Volkswagen employees. A couple of villages here on the side. Interesting areas here up in the hills. No points there currently. Feel like it would be nice to have a point here and a point on the other side for the guys that really want to get in there, at least on the 10v10 variants. So yeah, this is quite nice as well. It's really heavy fighting for infantry here in the middle though. They have decent alleys for tanks on the sides. Artillery galore in the center as well. Yeah, those will come as 10v10s. Both of the maps will come as 10v10 maps as well. Both of the maps I just showed had a variant that will be put into the tank v 10 as well. There was one more map, right? We have these. Was that it? Stoneware we already got beforehand. No, rocks is not new. Railway we got beforehand. So that is fine. So I think that is it. But those are two not new. Oh, wait. No. No new 1v1 variants yet. They are working on new 1v1 variants, but none of them here at the moment, unfortunately, and so no new ranked maps right now. Hopefully some more soon. Let me have a look. Okay. Let's actually play this mission. No, let's go with this one. This one is one of my favorites. And I will have a look in if anybody of the other guys comes online. We can have a look into the Army General... actually, let's have a look into the Army General campaigns. But leaving this one... Yeah, these are the attacking side. So... The trailers is always pretty good.
June 23rd, 1989, 72 hours into World War III. As the Warsaw Pact's strategic offensive into West Germany continues, initial communist attacks in NORTHAG fixed local NATO forces in place. This changes after the devastating left hook attack by the Soviet First Guards Army against the 1st Belgian Corps. NATO rushes key reserves to the threatened southern sector, signaling a dramatic increase of Warsaw Pact operations along NORTHAG's front. Two main axes of
I'm working on that bit, actually.
Lunenburg-Bremen in the north.
Yeah, Edgewalker. I'm absolutely... I offered you my support for something like that already. Yeah, not sure if it will come to pass, but yeah, it would be nice. Yes, Stoneware and Railway get 10v10 variants as well. Community map, not for DLC, but yeah, for just adding them into the pool, yeah.
As peacetime exercises had led to fear, the Dutch deployment is marred by delays.
Similar to what, like I would love to run an event like the Team Map Contest that the StarCraft 2 ran, but for Warno. So yeah, this one has a lot of tanks.
Genosse General, der
Oh no, no,
Verstärkungsplan der NATO...
that's the
Genosse
4 days
General,
Base.
wir haben das Momentum und die zahlenmäßige Überlegenheit. Das Blatt kann sich jedoch schnell wenden, wenn es dem niederländischen 1. Korps gelingt, seine Reservetruppen zu mobilisieren. Fegen Sie alle
The new
Einheiten
maps also
beiseite,
have
die
map
die NATO
variants
entsendet.
for Army General.
Nutzen Sie das panzergünstige Gelände. Sie haben nur wenig Zeit, um die Weser zu erreichen und Bremen einzunehmen. Viel Glück, Genosse General.
And yeah, here you get the 9th Panzer. Here you get a good couple of pretty trashy formations as well. Here you get T-55s. You get Reservisten and T-55s, and then you also get some T-54 divisions, I believe. With Reservisten, is that down here? Yeah, T-54 AMs with Reservisten. So a lot of trashy guys. T-54 AMs here as well. And then a couple of stronger Soviet T-64 formations here. A lot of T-64s in these guys. And you also get some Polish Air Force units and so on in this one. And in the other one you get some Polish ground forces, though surprisingly few Polish in these Army General campaigns, which is, in my eyes, a bit of a shame for these. Yeah, more Polish would have been nice. T-72s. But that's the only normal T-72s, so the ones without smoke. And these guys with T-55As next to it. And then down here you get the 9th Panzer later with the T-72s that we saw earlier. Got a lot of T-72 M1s here and T-72 S's as well that you can get around. So, and yeah, then T-72 MVU coming around here as well. Genosse and Kamerad are kind of the same, yeah. Not quite. No, Genosse is like party member. Yeah, it's. I don't think there's a direct translation. But it's pretty similar to Comrade. But it's more like Genosse was used for the party membership more so than for normal Comrade that is also used in military terms. So it's like an in-between thing there. Yeah. Which one of these three should we go for? But the long one does go pretty long. This one is the one where you have to protect the convoy. This one is where you have to push, and this one is the airborne one where you have to reconnect stuff. Let's do a vote here. Which one to go for? 2-minute vote. Vote is up now on Twitch. Let's go. I will use that for a real quick restroom break. Back in a sec. Winged Hussars winning. Nice. Okay. Let's go into the Polish one. As this one is getting you a lot of T-72s. And we have nice intros for these ones now as well. Yeah, era. Polish having to reconnect their stuff. As the British counterattack is coming in. The mix of in-game and real footage is really nice. Yeah, the paratroopers got behind us here. And yeah, tank battalion encircled. We have to get them. That's us.
Obywatelu, waszym zadaniem jest przebić się przez linię wroga i odzyskać kontakt z naszymi odciętymi rodakami. Posiłki z trzeciego pułku będą do dyspozycji po przebiciu się do naszych uwięzionych sił. Wróg oczekuje naszego natarcia. Możemy spodziewać się wrogich jednostek przeciwpancernych, czekających w zasadzkach. Zalecam ostrożność podczas posuwania.
So yeah, we have this little gang of guys here. We turn fuel off on these guys. And ammunition for now as well. And then we have T-72 M1s. We have some BRDM2s and BRM1 here. That is our most important recon unit. And then we have BMP1s here with SVD Infantry, but this is Polish BMP1s, so no smoke on these guys. Okay. Let's go. So the T-72s and the BRM1 are the only things with smoke on them. The BMP1s need to get behind us. Once we have a lot of ATGMs and so on waiting for us here. We have to try to rescue our forces, our friendly forces over there. Let's get going.
Dla ojczyzny wszystko. Czekamy na wytyczne. Tak, kapitanie?
Here's our tanks pushing
Dostawa w
around.
drodze. Czekamy na wytyczne. Łapcie za lornetkę, kapralu.
So we either could push up here and then go around, Actually have never took this route, so actually in this
Zawsze
variant
chciałem
of it,
pojechać na zachód.
we'll go north.
Szybciej,
Because last
kierowco.
time I took this way in. I feel like this might be a way in as well, so let's try.
Gotowi do akcji. Zaraz tam będziemy.
And let's go for that one.
Zamelduj dowództwo. Mamy kontakt z wrogiem.
Okay.
Logistyka w gotowości. Biegiem naprzód! Tak, kapitanie?
Let's get these guys forward.
A mogłem pójść do logistyki. Damy im popalić. Pojazd przygotowany do akcji.
These guys pushing up as well. We see something over there. Rover Milan.
Gotowi wyruszyć w każdym momencie. Bez zwiadowców żadna armia nie pójdzie naprzód. Coś jeszcze? Szybciej, kierowco.
That is not great.
Jednego mniej. Naprzód, kierowco.
Ferret gets absolutely rinsed.
Tak, obywatelu kapitanie? Weszło jak... Naprzód, panowie!
Good kill there.
Załadowana i odbezpieczona. Wróg w pobliżu.
Chieftains.
Walą w nas jak w
It's the Mark 6 ones, which are not great, but might still be a problem. Enemy infantry coming in from the side. A lot of enemy infantry coming in from the side, actually. That's a problem.
Baczność, przyszłe rozkazy. Wsteczny, powoli. Kierowca start. Drugi pluton melduje się.
Nothing coming in from the other side yet. You shot
Padnij,
us.
wróg przed nami.
Can't stand around there. Fly truck.
Ciężka kawaleria...
O Boże, shit,
dostałem!
shit,
Jak
shit.
chławie! Weszło
What is
jak
this going for?
masło. Przeciwnik oberwał.
Misses.
Cokolwiek pan rozkaże.
Not quite sure where it even came from.
Gotowości.
Mobiles coming
Dobra robota,
around.
panowie.
Ferret can be dealt with. We won't lose the infantry unit here. Shit.
O Boże, dostałem!
No,
I trzymać
that
głowę
was the
nisko.
exactly the wrong spot to be at.
Namierzyć cel! Ognia! Ma pan coś dla nas? Gotowi na śmierć i chwałę!
They've
Po
got the
drodze
rover.
będzie szybciej. Bieg... O Boże! Dostałem! Jak chwawie! Zawsze chciałem, przyjąłem. Znaleźć i zniszczyć. Kolejni posłani do diabła!
Okay, Rover Milan there
Dowódca
destroyed.
plutonu na stanowisku, słucham. Dostawa w drodze.
More mobiles coming our way, and we haven't made it very far yet from our start.
O Boże! Dostałem! Jak chwawie!
Rover Milan,
Jednego
something we
mniej!
can kill.
Za naród zrobię wszystko, ale głównie zabijam. Kierowca start. Ja się na to nie
Repair these
pisałem.
guys.
Jednego mniej. Trzymać, mamy straty, potrzebujemy wsparcia.
AVRE
Podoba mi się ta robota.
can be dealt with.
Biegiem naprzód. Zaraz tam będziemy.
Infantry
Naprzód, na co się
pushing
patrzysz?
forward. 22
Tak, kapitanie? Mamy straty, potrzebujemy
doing its
wsparcia.
best to help out.
Ja się na to nie... Ruszać się, panienki, mamy
Our
robotę
first
do
supply
odwalenia.
truck already emptied.
Załadujcie ładunek,
I
jedziemy na
shouldn't have
front.
turned on the ammunition part.
Słychać was głośno i wyraźnie. Ma pan dla nas rozkazy? Po drodze będzie szybciej. Naprzód, kierowco. Gotowi do akcji.
Let's go.
Padnij! Wróg przed nami!
Yeah. Yeah, there is color coding
Komuś
now
potrzeba amunicji?
for those kind of things.
Czołgi czołgiem zwalczaj! Ludzi czołgiem zwalczaj! Naprzód, panowie!
Oh, what?
Dowódca na
Ow.
stanowisku,
The
słucham.
chieftain exactly got us on the side armor there. We get the kill on it.
Ma pan dla nas rozkazy?
We have the range advantage against
Dalej
these
pokładni.
guys.
Kierowca, start! Wesło
Good
jak
hit,
masło.
good kill there.
Przeciwnik oberwał.
Oh, that did hurt.
Sprawa w drodze. Tak jest, obywatelu kapitanie. A mogłem pójść do logistyki.
Once we need to start getting through here. I think we want to go the long way
Dużo o panu słyszeliśmy.
for that part.
Wsiadać, nie gadać. Szybciej, kierowco. Wyłącz silnik, zaczekamy tutaj. Bez zwiadowców żadna armia nie pójdzie naprzód.
Ouch.
Uważajcie na straty, dowódco. Nie możemy sobie pozwolić na porażkę.
Wait, what? Something just murdered one of our T-72s there.
Naprzód, panowie!
It wasn't the 50 cal.
Czołgi czołgiem zwalczaj! Ludzi
sure about
czołgiem
that?
zwalczaj!
It just keeps
Broń
these
załadowana!
guys.
Padnij! Wróg przed nami! Słychać was głośno i wyraźnie!
Those airmen
O
bullets
Boże!
did.
Dostałem! Jak krwawie! Pojazd przy... Ma pan coś dla nas? Mamy ich! Ma pan dla nas rozkazy? Biegiem naprzód!
Ouch.
Załoga w gotowości! Pojazd przygotowany do akcji! O Boże!
So yeah, these
Dostałem!
operations
Jak
are a lot
krwawie!
more fun than the first one because it really does what operations can do, and it's not just a big skirmish, but actually some interesting objectives
Wesło
with
jak
some
masło!
scripting and so on
Przeciwnik oberwał!
in there as
Cokolwiek pan
well,
rozkaże.
making them
Załadujcie ładunek, jedziemy na
a decent
front.
bit more interesting.
Zamelduj dowództwo. Mamy
Wow,
Stać,
okay.
sierżant oberwał! Odciągnijcie go stąd! Ma pan coś
More
dla
ammo
nas?
builds.
Zawsze chciałem pojechać na zachód. Przyjąłem. Znaleźć i zniszczyć. W czym mogę pomóc, obywatelu kapitanie? Lewa, prawa,
Good kill
lewa,
there.
naprzód, panowie! Gotowości. Zamelduj dowództwo. Mamy kontakt.
No more ammo builds.
A
We
mogłem
just need to
pójść do
stay out of there.
logistyki. Sierżant oberwał! Odciągnijcie go stąd! Chodź!
We might be too fast here.
Potrzebujemy
Oh, it's just a
zaopatrzenia.
parrot. Okay, but we have more units over there that are scarier.
Sytuacja okazuje się być gorsza niż nam się wydawało. Wróg dysponuje czołgami. Oczekuję.
Oh no, 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 no.
Wesło jak mas! Zawsze chciałem pojechać na zachód.
Milan 2s.
Komuś potrzeba amunicji. Stać! Okopać się!
That's a problem.
Tak, kapitanie? Zajmiemy się tym, towarzyszu. Gotowi
I mean,
wyruszyć.
we killed the ammo
Wróg
builds
przed
now, so we
nami.
might be able to sneak through here, because I don't want to fight against that wall
Piechota do pańskiej dyspozycji.
of tanks. Oh boy.
Czołgi! Streszczajcie się, obywatelu. Nasi czekają na pomoc. Musimy jak najszybciej zająć punkt Anna. Załoga w gotowości. Stać!
No. Don't
Pojazd
fire.
przygotowany do
Moved.
akcji. Po drodze będzie szybciej.
Kill the
Jednego
foxes.
mniej.
Trzymać głowy, siadać, nie gadać. Podoba mi się ta robota. Walą w nas jak
Wombat.
ma pan coś dla nas?
Something with an ATGM shooting us from over there.
Czego panu potrzeba? Natychmiast, dowódco. Skończyły nam się magazynki. Celowniczy nie śpi, wróg na 11. Naprzód, kierowco.
Can we get a hit there?
Dostaliśmy przeciwpancernym!
Gotowi do akcji.
Kierowca! Natychmiast, dowódco.
Okay, we got the rover. P-72.
Weszło jak w masło! Przeciwnik oberwał!
Zamelduj do...
Natychmiast, dowódco.
Can we make it here? The Milan 2s and co are running here as well. Feel like we just want to drive. Arc T-72 falling behind. A bit of an issue. No, fuck.
Celowniczy nie śpi, wróg na 11. Wsteczny, powoli. Kierowca, wycofaj nas!
Komuś potrzeba amunicji?
Kierowca, start!
Yeah, the T-72 is taking it from the side as well.
Mamy amunicji!
Okay, they actually have more forces here than I
Na
expected.
co się patrzysz?
Yeah. And this is medium difficulty, guys. On hard you have one less of these guys and I think a couple more enemy units are running around here as well.
Sierżant oberwał! Odciągnijcie go
So,
stąd!
yeah, this is actually quite a challenging little mission.
Celowniczy czołgi, czołgiem zwalczaj! Ludzi, czołgiem zwalczaj!
Can we get
Kierowca,
one of the
wycofaj nas!
two units here through? Just need to get reconnection here, but oh my goodness, no.
O Boże, dostałem! Jak
O.
prawie!
Yeah, we got shredded there. Losing one T-72 over here was pretty costly. Was really costly. Yeah. So yeah, with 2 to 1 KD, that's not good enough for the Polish. There's a lot of stuff is in your way there. And we suffered defeat here. If you get through, then you get a lot more T-72s, then you have to push on even, so that's only the first part of the mission. Now let's have a look into Marauders here, which is a really nice one as well, that you have a couple of different approaches for as too. And yeah, actually I made the mission harder, because on our last mission one of the transports was a BMP-2, which has smokes, but somebody pointed out that is historically incorrect. And then I was like, okay, change that out, Eugen, make it historically correct, but at least give us a leader unit. But they didn't give us a leader unit, they just gave us one more BMP-1, so that's actually made it the start there harder, which was pretty decently hard before with the BMP-2 as well. But the BMP-2 was really helpful, so not having that and just having another BMP-1 without smoke instead actually made the start there even harder. So yeah, so the missions here are pretty hard on medium and really hard on hard in my eyes. They are all doable, but yeah. Here we are now playing the airborne part, so not just British, but this is really nice as well. We're playing Mnet in this one. I love the footage. Like, these trailers are also way better than the one of the other operations. Like, Eugene really elevated their quality here. Let's go in here. Also think the latest trailer for NORTHAG was really nice. Let's go, let's go, let's go, guys.
The enemy depots at Kasseberg are ours, but the Poles are on the verge of launching a counterattack to take them back. Enemy forces are still lodged between us and our West German units. Clearing Bravo and capturing the sector will allow The enemy has infiltrated behind the Belgian commandos located at Delta, cutting our communication lines. They have entrenched with light AA and AT units. The situation on the ground is confusing, but we just got word that contact with the Paras at Alpha has been lost. We must re-establish a link as soon. The main counterattack is imminent and will likely fall on Alpha. Be sure to clear the area around Delta. Make every effort to contact the West German units for additional reinforcements. Best of...
So, in this one, we have a field supply point here. We have some SAS. SAS patrol as well. We can get a couple more SAS around. And we have Belgian forces here as well. The Fallschirmjäger Battalion 262. We only get if we get the optional objective here. We have to link up with our British units over here, and the Belgians at Bravo. There are units in between us and them. And yeah, we have to link up first and then hold against counterattacks from the sides as well. And hold Charlie as the most important point here. Alpha adding a +1. I think Bravo adding a +1 to the capture, and I believe so does Delta. Getting the tick up a bit quicker. And yeah, if we can hold out there, that is nice. Getting a couple helicopters, but pretty bad helicopters here. They're in this one, including some old scouts and diesel rockets, at least recon rockets. And outside of that, mostly infantry. And Scimitars, which I think we want to use here early on. Try to get through this setup. Striker going around as well. Could push with SAS to this side. Like, or we also could just focus on flashing out here and just take all of this under our control. Shall we try to link up with the Germans, guys? That is planned, that operation, that you are supposed to be able to create scenarios with the map editor as well. I'm not sure how fast that is going to happen, though.
Waiting for all. Get in there.
Let's get these guys back in there. I don't think we need the Chinooks. Those we can sell here.
Need a raid?
Okay, move on 2 in there if possible. Not sure how close the enemy is over here. But if you can deploy here, I guess they're not quite here. Let's see. Let's see what is between us and them over here.
Enemy right up.
Oh,
Get in formation.
damn.
The
Polish
first
infantry
enemy
right
attack wave
there.
is about to fall on Alpha. The vanguard is made up of Polish reservists. Make sure the communication lines with the paras are secure.
What are your orders, sir? Waiting for instructions. Besoin d'un coup d'œil, commandant? On vous éclaire. Für bei Sicht.
Let's get another para in there. Trying to link up again.
Beta 5 ready. We'll deploy at this position. That's an honor to serve under your command. I'm all ears. It always comes
Haven't
down to
spotted
the infantryman
anything yet.
and his rifle.
Okay.
À vos ordres, commandant. On est prêt à tout.
Can we push across here? Okay. Fine so far.
La cavalerie est à votre service. On répond présent. Get ready to engage.
Oh,
Enemy right up.
Getting
St.
shot.
Andrew, get there. Waiting for instructions. Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
ooh. 57mm AA gun included here.
We've got him.
Bring that up though. Commissars helping out
I've
here.
got it.
And we got the Belgians under our command here too.
Enemy right up. Get in formation. Verkenning tot uw bevel.
Got the paras over here now.
I'm hit.
Got a decent amount of points. Oh, another. Oh no, that's the SP. Accident. Send them over here. Scimitar's needed over here instead. Trying to link up to Alpha.
Wachten op orders.
They are on the attack already. Can we get the Spartan across here and just get them in there? Oh, 50 cal. That's a problem.
Weapons free, lads. It's hostile out here. Medic! We gaan, maar let op onze flanken.
Scimitars.
Right up. Get in
Coming
formation.
around.
I'm all ears.
50 cal. Hopefully getting shredded quickly
You have orders,
here.
Captain? Bordel, on se fait aligner ici. Faut bouger. Shut up and listen to your
SAS
charge.
can be pushed up there.
En toutes les sections, ennemis repérés. Soyez prêts au combat. Going there. Wachten op
Oh, another 50 cal spotted.
Good job, Commander. We linked up with the British at Alpha.
Okay, we linked up with the British here. That is nice and all.
Oh, I'm hit. If the enemy's in range,
But
so are we.
T-72 is already coming in. Okay,
Enemy right up.
that's a problem.
Get in formation.
Can we get recon helicopters over there?
Yes, sir. Weapons free, lads. Oh, I'm hit.
Scimitars coming in. Some SAS there would be hot.
Get in
Actually,
formation.
some supply over there would be hot.
If the enemy's in range, so are we. Andrew, get there.
Hmm.
Fermez-la, écoutez le chef, bande de têtes brûlées. We hebben orders, mannen. One less enemy.
Get them out there to a better position. Push around and defend around the points.
Everybody, check your ammo. They've spotted
Wait.
us.
Oh, they are behind the building. They're not in the building. Okay.
Wachten op orders. On y va, terminé. On déclenche les hostilités.
What the hell? Just jumped on top of us there. Okay.
All right, sweethearts. What are you? Ready, sir. Enemy rock.
There is an uptick on enemy movement on Delta. An attack is
Oh no.
Watch out.
7mm
Driving at full speed.
coming around.
We've got him!
SAS patrol. These guys coming in here.
Yes, sir.
Milan 2 in trouble as the enemy is pushing closer.
One less enemy. Oui, commandant.
Scimitar is doing their job.
Coup au but. On les a eus. Bien. Enemy spotted.
Let's get in here. Let's get in here.
Ah, I'm hit. Well done, guys. La cavalerie est à votre service. Au répond présent. Enemy right up. Get in formation.
These
We
guys
can't
pushing up.
take it anymore.
Patrol.
Platoon. Second platoon. Let's go. We'll deploy in this position. One less enemy. Yes, sir.
That's the better building there.
Le train. One less enemy.
Ah,
Alright,
get
ladies,
into the building.
it's time to move.
Oh, now you're attacked from both sides. Lovely.
Yes, sir. Get out. No. Give him.
T-34 is coming in. That's a problem.
Beware. Enemy.
Allumez tous les
Let's
refracts
get
que vous
around.
verrez. On fait le ménage. Medic!
And
Well
we
done,
go
guys.
around here. What do you have for PC? Because one doesn't have the highest
I've got it.
kind of settings to.
Out of ammo! Platoon formed and ready. Andrew,
Are-
get there! Waiting for instructions. Attention, ennemi repéré. Ça se gaffe.
We're getting pushed here pretty hard now. Can we get a supply truck for the Milan 2s and for the Paras?
Vous avez repéré quelque chose? On s'occupe de ça tout de suite.
Scimitars from over here can help out.
Somebody call for a cab. Bring us there, taxi.
En toutes les sections. HE loaded. Ready? Yes, Captain.
Decent hits.
Watch out for the enemy.
ATGM-1 can push forward.
As you command, sir.
Milan 2
The
got
second
reloaded.
attack is heading towards Alpha. Resist the enemy with vigor, Commander.
Munitions, carburant, pièces de recharge.
These guys get reloaded.
Beware.
Good damage. Are a lot of infantry coming in.
Ready, sir. I've got it.
Okay, we got the damage here as well.
Verkenning tot uw bevel.
En toutes les sections, ennemis repérés, soyez prêts au combat.
Let's get these guys around here.
Rien de nouveau? Quels sont les ordres, commandant?
T-34
Fire! Hit!
coming around
Le
here.
train est à votre service, commandant.
Have you run back here? Do we have a supply helicopter?
Oké, Schutter. Goed gedaan.
No.
Damn it, on here.
Ik hoor u luid en duidelijk.
You guys can run back here as well,
Enemy spotted.
because we can't afford to losing you.
On attend vos instructions, chef.
De tank is klaar, kapitein.
Another one of the ATGM
Yes,
helicopters.
Captain.
This ATGM
Roger.
helicopter can land
We've
back
got
there
it.
as well.
Beware. Enemy nearby.
Another supply truck.
Urgent highway is
We
here.
have enough supplies, so
Oké, Schutter.
that
Goed
is
gedaan.
not the issue.
Munitions, carburant, pièces de recharge. On a ce qu'il vous faut.
These guys running for supplies as well. Oh. Come on. T-34 is a problem. A lot of infantry pushing in for us. And we have Scimitars here now. Scorpions.
We've got him.
Ik hoor u luid en duidelijk.
Section est touchée. Couvrez-le, vite.
Okay,
Let me
Scott.
push over this.
Soin du mo-
Let's go.
Attached a sizable force from the east to capture Bravo. Repel the attack, Commander.
Oh,
Munitions
enemy
Captain.
attack coming in
Interchange.
here.
On a ce qu'il vous faut.
We got the kill.
Okay, Scott. Yes, sir.
Enemy spotted. Damn, it's on here.
Let's get these guys out there. Scimitar is doing their best here.
Mortality, Red Leader.
SAS
I am
Patrol can't push forward. Lynx Hellarm coming in.
Waiting for instructions.
Beware. Enemy
This
nearby.
one reloaded and mostly refueled now as well.
Roger.
Let's push forward. Oh, Saperzi actually.
Quels sont vos
Pretty
ordres?
scary
On
there.
attend vos instructions, chef.
Let's push on top of them.
Coup au but. On les a eus.
Oh, good.
Bien joué, les gars.
Good that we got the Scimitars around here now. Shredding through them.
Beware.
Nice,
Enemy
lovely.
nearby. Okay,
We
Scott.
are
Roger.
halfway there.
Roulotte and Douglas.
Damn, it's on here.
Toutes les munitions étaient un truc.
Manza.
Smoke. Run.
Le train est à votre
This
service,
supply truck
commandant.
can get back up out
Compris,
there.
on y va. Plein gaz.
Waar wilt u dat het geleverd wordt?
Scimitar coming along as well.
Les balles sifflent autour de moi, chef.
Beware. Enemy nearby.
More infantry pushing forward.
Les amateurs parlent de stratégie. Les
These
pros-
guys. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of infantry actually.
Ready, sir.
BMP-1. Decently troublesome.
Goed gedaan, mannen.
Enemy spotted. Platoon is formed and ready.
Klaar om te bevoorraden.
Decent amount of artillery coming, raining down on us here as well.
Enemy right up. Get in formation.
That's the problem.
Ici Flandre, nous sommes prêts. Commandez-nous, chef.
CPU. Oh no 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 no. No. Ah, that's us. What even is this?
Commander, we are holding on. The
Okay.
longer we keep defending, the more the enemy will be led
I don't think
dry.
that's in any other unit
The
yet.
operation's success will be within
I don't
our
think that's in any of the divisions. This ZPU truck of the Polish. It's an airborne ZPU truck.
Glad to see somebody knows where we're going.
Out on ammo. On in the clear. Go ahead. Surgeon Highway is here.
Enemy right up. Get in formation.
Heeft iemand munitie nodig? We zijn opnieuw op de weg.
Roger.
Well done, guys.
Okay,
À vos ordres,
got
commandant.
them
On est
defeated
prêts à tout.
there.
We're badly hit.
We're holding over
Enemy
here.
spotted. Roger.
Hello, 1800. Yeah, no idea what it is. SPG-9 on the fire. Can we stop the artillery?
Hit.
Can we make a deep infiltration here against the artillery? That would be helpful. Well,
Andrew, get there. Vous voulez
not before
reconnaître,
running
chef.
into more enemies here.
Nous ferons vos yeux, commandant. Comptez sur nous.
Oh, auto supply actually working.
Hit.
Never used that before.
Oui, commandant. On est à vos ordres.
Let's see auto supply on these guys as well. I think it's sometimes a bit suicidal from what I remember. But
We can't take it
yeah,
anymore.
let's see how well it works.
La cavalerie est à votre service. On répond présent.
Ik ben geraakt.
SAS, let's get in here. 2,800 points already. I feel like what was my issue before with this mission already was that it's just ending a bit too fast.
De tank is klaar.
You get up to the 4,000 points a bit too quickly.
Well done, guys. Beware.
Oh no. They have a lot of SPG-9 coming for us here. T-54s.
We've got him.
Okay, that's the next level of escalation here.
Enemy spotted. He's right there. This is
The enemy tries to get a CV in here. SAS patrol.
It always comes
And
down
a
to the
gem
infantryman and
moving
his
around.
rifle.
One less enemy. Enemy
One of those
spot.
ZPUs.
I'm listening.
Klaar om te bevoorraden. We zijn opnieuw op de weg.
Ready, sir. Hit.
It's gonna be hard doing the job here.
I've got it.
Actually, enemy coming for us here though.
Enemy right up. Get in formation.
In Charlie.
I am listening.
Rover Para can be moved back there. They tried to assault us over here.
Platoon full. Damage on here.
Let's move the SAS here around that we have as a defensive force.
Enemy right up.
Yeah, they tried some infiltration strategies over here.
I've got it.
And we didn't get close enough to their stuff back there. That's a problem.
Ward Adity Redley. Okay, sir.
But yeah, we did it without the German Fallschirmjäger.
Hit.
You get some nice results here as addition if you get for this. E55B,
He's right there.
F4B going down.
They've spotted us. Enemy spotted. Waiting for instruction.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Hit. We got a man down. Roger.
For us. Wait, SAS, you are not in the right spot.
Enemy spotted. On your feet, gentlemen. We're going in.
This Para is
Ready,
full
sir.
hit points.
What's the U-boat de blouse blanche?
Skimithars in
Damage
the
on
wrong
here.
spot as well.
What's up? I'll report to you when I get there. Attention, ennemi repéré. Ça se gâte. Position, on est en section. Everybody, check your ammo. Medic.
Milan 2 in here destroyed, yeah. SAS.
Captain. All units. One less enemy. Shut up.
Commander, the enemy is launching their last full-on attack on Alpha. They're throwing everything they have at us. Brace yourself.
Medic. Morphine! Besoin de morphine ici, les gars!
Okay,
Everybody, all right, ladies, it's time to
got
move.
the hit there.
Enemy spotted.
ATGM helicopters doing their best here. Scorpions coming in a decent spot as well.
Waiting for orders.
You need to be
Let's
reloaded.
go quickly. We've got him.
Okay, enemy actually coming with quite a force now out of the
Enemy
right side
spotted.
point. I didn't expect that, because last time I just captured that. So yeah, actually not capturing that costs you quite a bit here.
Medic! Platoon formed and ready. Enemy spotted.
10 new divisions, yeah. The stream goes really well today. I made 5 YouTube videos about the divisions already that are live. 5 more coming tomorrow for the second half. So yeah, a lot of stuff out there. Jay Awesome. And we did go through them all in the stream as well earlier, if you want to watch that and a VOD. And yeah, 4 new operations. This one here, for example, being one. And this one is a lot of fun. With them now charging into us. But luckily we got enough Scorpions and Scimitars into the position now. Our SAS desperately trying to defend over here now. And our Scorpions do something. 3,700 points.
It always comes down to the infantryman and his rifle.
50 cal here,
Okay, Scuttle,
being
put it
pretty
up.
annoying as the enemy pushes forward.
Enemy spot. You gotta do the vote. Get some of these out, commandant. Hit.
We have enough autocannon vehicles to hold the front line so far.
Medic! Corbett, what is it?
Delta was lost. If we don't take it back, an enemy breakthrough will head straight through to Charlie sector.
On y va, plein gaz. Okay, Scuttle, put it down.
What's under fire? This one actually went pretty well now. Para infantry. Our 7mm.
Running out of ammo.
Belgian infantry. They're actually in this zone now. They have AT launchers on these guys.
Fall back.
No good AT launchers, but they got AT launchers.
Andrew, get there! If the enemy's in range, so are we.
Ennemi repéré.
Well done, guys. La cavalerie
Okay.
est à votre service. Roger.
Got rid of them.
Ah,
That stopped the tick as well.
Oh, what is you bevel, sir? Just get me out of here.
Ça sera une histoire à raconter à vos
A
marmots.
lot of forces coming our way here. SAS. Oh, SAS, you're in the right spot actually.
Hit. Andrew, get
Hit
there.
hard. Don't get hit by the 50 cal though. Oh my goodness, eating a TNT as well.
Enemy spotted.
Killing up the CV here. AT gun coming along. Bit of SPG-9s.
It always comes down to the infantry.
Holding the rear zone here now. Enemy comes with counterattack. Ooh,
Enemy. Yes, Captain. Out on ammo.
50 cal.
En formation d'attaque. On s'engage à vue. Pas de pitié.
But only 50 points to go. SAS still going strong over here now. 7mm MG doing its best as well.
Vijand binnen bereik is en wij daar ook. Oké, Schutter, goed gedaan.
Repairing these guys. And we got it.
Our continued defensive efforts at Kasselberg were
We did hold out.
We have inflicted significant damage
Nice.
and are still in control of the battlefield. The operation was a great
So yeah,
success.
full success. And yeah, we have this victory. Think, yeah, what I want to show you now is stress on miss. I did some testing earlier, so we can go into that. And I can show you a bit how that stress on miss works now, because that is pretty key. That's also where I did the short from. So yeah, Big D brought out some AA units over here, Strela 10Ms and Goose Gas. And then I brought out planes, and we started with Strelas. And I'm way too quick here now. So yeah, Strela fires, and then you get this warning symbol that you see there when stress on miss is applied, or when stress is applied, and then on miss it doesn't do any extra, but when it hits, it obviously does the extra damage. And you see the missile from here got close enough to this one, so that it got stressed from this one as well, so they have some AoE. This one over here didn't get, so it's only one Strela here, and it's like 1/4 of the way there with stress from a Strela missile. There's one being pushed back now from the hit, but yeah, one Strela missile doing 1/4 stress on miss, and then this one now goes over, gets stressed again, goes to half, gets hit, gets pushed back. Well, not with this patch. You'll see how good it is, and then apply from there. Like, it needs testing in the big scale. For now, planes stay where they are in price and so on. Because they're still useful if you get them through and so on. But it would be nice. No, I don't think so. From the tests. So yeah, Tunguska's do halfway stress here with a miss. I mean, you still get most of your units on target anyways. Before AA hits you with the current system, how AA works. Like, we were exactly above the Tunguska here, for example, before the missile came at us. So the seed missiles would have gotten out for first. Tornado pushed back here. This one being pushed back as well. Yeah, exactly. And it's like buffing air now without enough testing on it. Like, I think it's better to see it in the live build and then go and balance from there, instead of doing some random buffs now. Yeah, what I think would be the best way of doing it is buffing availability on planes. So, and then you take them either veterancy and buff veterancy on planes, so that then if you take them with high veterancy, stress on miss and stress is not quite as important. But having like a couple more planes with 3-2-1 availability curves, with on low veterancy they taking a lot and so on, like making veterancy there important could be interesting. Or yeah, just change prices, but we will see. With this change already, veterancy might be interesting to take, though I don't believe it gives enough stress resilience yet. But yeah, we'll see. As you can see here, like the Tunguska missiles do similar stress damage to the Ihawks. They're like 1/3 on a miss. But yeah, most of them it still gets you pushed back with a hit. So like the interaction hasn't changed massively. It's still a nice change for sure though. Reload times I don't think have changed yet. Yeah, I think that was the end of the testing here, for the most part. I didn't bring supply units. I have tested a air-to-air missile stress here. Right. But those were hits, so they don't really help you. So air-to-air missiles do stress as well, which yeah means that shotgun fighters are a lot weaker now, because they get stressed out before they can fire the missiles, so they get lower accuracy on them. So the age of the shotgun fighters might be over. F-16 Ace here coming in. I think they'll just fly over his AA again. But yeah, that's house stress on misapplies. I like the little symbol and so on as well. Yeah, this being a 2 veterancy plane here. Tunguska coming in. Here it does half stress. But yeah, here it does get a hit. But yeah, the stress difference is not really noticeable, and then it gets hit. Actually, not quite sure what does a plane veterancy exactly do right now. But I feel like that would be something that would be nice. It does 20% stress resilience. I feel like it should be like 33 or more at this point. Yeah, 1 per second stress recovery, 2 per second here. So yeah, but that could be interesting. And then going all the way up here with 3-2-1 availability curves for planes, or even higher ones for shittier planes, like going with 4-2-1 availability or something, or 4-3-2 for Harriers and so on like that. Could be interesting. We'll see. Like, with the air tap limitations and so on, and how planes work, like it still needs some changes and so on. But the stress on miss is a nice new thing, and yeah, we'll see how it opens up a couple new allies, because finally aerodynamics are not as deterministic as they were before. It's either air kills everything or air is useless. Like it's either killed or be killed. It's air can actually get pushed away now by AA and so on. So yeah, will be interesting where this goes. It will be really interesting where this goes. Hellarm and Gazelle rockets here, pretty nice as well. Yeah. And then when it comes to patches, I actually have to see around. Let me have a look again what kind of things got changed. Oh yeah, T-62s go faster. Then M48s and a couple of other units go around. Most important change is this one. Back to 55 points, guys. Pioneer Carl Gustav back on the menu. Yeah, the health point hit change to all the MGs is pretty key. All the little MGs having 4 hit points now is quite important. Couple of units that needed smoke got smoke. Bradley got nerfed. It's the Bradley accuracy now on motion went down. So, yeah, the Bradley stabilized motion went down. The Ehrlichen is still the same. So the Belgian and the Dutch still have the old 50% accuracy on motion. Which is weird. That might have to change. And then you can maybe also get them down to 45 points. We'll see about that. So yeah, the little MG buff and grenade launcher buff going up to hit points. Those are the changes here. Okay, yeah. Then Avenger is now 75 kmh as well. I believe that's the big things here. And then we had, yeah, radar AA going back to 2.5. And then the other to 2 and 1.5 seconds. And then I think that's mostly it here. We had a couple of other smaller price changes. US snipers went down in price. For some reason. Well, because the new snipers of theirs are cheaper as well. But yeah, these guys are 35 points now. So, yeah, you always take them now. Because they were already really good at 40 points. They're insane at 35 points. But these guys are even insaner at 35 points. So, yeah. You take them. CV went down to 30. So, these guys, yeah, they are really worthwhile now taking in my eyes. Then we got... Yeah, that's mostly for the divisions that we had. Like most of the changes I see are for the new divisions, so that's changes that don't really matter for you. Yeah, the French sniper went up in price, I think. They went up to 35 points, which I don't quite get. Yeah, I think somebody messed up there because they're not special forces, but they have elite in their name, so that indicates that they're maybe special forces. So they went up in price. Yeah, and that I will have to look more into that again, but yeah, those are mostly smaller changes. M48A got better top armor, so they can survive a couple of cluster hits now. M48's up to 2 top armor, a couple of other units went down in top armor, but yeah, these guys here now 2 top armor. It actually means that they can survive a bit of damage from above. Yeah. Yeah, this is most of it here. I don't think there's any other major balance patches. I mean, we just got a patch 2 weeks ago. So yeah, and with the stress on miss and so on, and 10 divisions to be balanced and tested, we had a lot to do. We'll have to look again. T-62s. Yeah, BMP-3 has 1 top armor now, so BMP-3s are easy to kill. T-62s going faster is an interesting one. But yeah, Bradley's having less stabilizer. So yeah, that's important. Oh, yeah, right. M1 National Guard is 200 points. Yeah, those are a couple of things. Airborne Military Police getting chalk trade. Yeah. And the Abbott and a couple of other guns got direct fire guns, but they don't really matter. Yeah, we can push shotgun fighters into cheaper prices now again. But as I said, like, there was not enough testing on the stress on miss beforehand to make any changes without just random guesswork. And to make those tests, NORTHAG or the change itself would have had to be pushed to next year. And I don't think that would have been worthwhile, because also that, like, strike team can only test so much. So I think pushing stress on miss right now with the current prices, and then going from there when we have the feedback of the whole community and the testing of the whole community, makes more sense. Sure. Unworked. Unpaid. And Eugen with 5 guys. Can also test for 10v10s, right? Like, Eugen employees just should not do any work, and just all 20 of them should just constantly play 10v10s. That's how they get the game going. That's efficient usage of their work hours. Yeah, T-64B1, Rajvetka here, coming around. Derek's hat may be enough for that, but Derek's is not around anymore. Yeah. 1 less active tester. For sure. So, yeah, good optics, classic. Good locking. T-64 over here. Well, if it would be down to me, we would get a T-80 IZD or a normal T-80VV. But I believe there was like somebody said there was that these were part of the recon battalion for 79th as well. So having a recon variant of this without the Agona would be quite nice. But I don't think we will get them anytime soon. But yeah, getting one of these is nice. Sure. Everything is better about him, and everything was Derek's fault. Derek did everything wrong, and yeah. All the decisions were made by Derek's that people complained about. And he was in charge of so much as an outside consultant without the internal stuff. Why no missiles on recon tanks? Because that would be pretty scary. Like, that would be most likely a balanced nightmare. With these guys also would have 80 gems. Strike team again, that's what Steel Division 2 did. Or the next Eugen guy that actually talks to the community at any point. So that the rest of Eugen just learns how to never talk to the community. I mean, yeah. Derek's was a wild guy, and I'm not missing the person. But yeah, I think the criticism of his work went insanely overboard. Criticism of his person was totally fine. He was an absolute dick. But he was not to blame for most of the things he got blamed for. Or at least not him individually on his own. But yeah, that is a different story. And I think Eugen should have somebody in Derek's position again, maybe a bit better implemented. And without him, without a person in Derek's kind of position, I think Wano is doing worse, because I think under Derek's, Wano got where it got with 1.1 and all the stuff, and the game being way better than what we had in 2022. But yeah, whenever there was a outcry, it was Derek's. Also thanks to maybe a couple people pushing the agenda against him especially hard, because he was a dislikable person and it was easy to hate him. But yeah, it could have gone smoother, for sure. I hope Derek finds inner peace and a better position in the future, and I hope Eugen finds a solution to how to replace him that works. But we will see. And yeah, with that said, guys, I think we're gonna end it here. My voice is so close to dying, and I have to talk for my 9-to-5 job as well, so I'd rather not ruin it completely today. So yeah, we're gonna end it here. And yeah, more content on the YouTube channel coming around, guys. So if you want to see that, go around. And let's have a look at who we can raid here. Oh, Captain Adonis playing some Foxhole. Let's raid our US Navy vet friend over there and ask him why he's not playing Wano. And have fun over there, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye and have a great day.